rolling? We're cruising already?
Yeah, we're rolling.
Because we just find our way into this thing. We don't necessarily... We don't do a formal introduction at this point, do we? We just shoot the shit.
Other than Steven is the fabricator down the street here.
Well, there you go.
Simple.
Why don't we go with the company name too now?
Yeah, SMP Fab.
There you go.
He's wearing the T-shirt.
Yeah, I made sure I wore all the T-shirt.
And the hat. The hat's pretty
New
sick.
hats are in.
Yeah.
I do that. Do you know almost every day I either wear Autotopia or Harley?
Yeah.
Really? That's your two favorite brands, huh?
Well, and it's right there. It's readily accessible. It's always on top. So I just grab, I like the on top part.
On top?
Yeah.
Just whatever's on top?
Yeah. Well,
yeah.
You never get to those other shirts in that pile by the time you have to do laundry and
no, exactly.
You just 48 Harley Davidson shirts.
Yeah, I just recycle about the top 10 and keep rolling through.
I'll just wear the same shirt at least twice in that, like back to back, just because
you wear it 2 days in a row. So you go grubby, disgusting, and then you do the next day.
You know how fast I go through shirts?
I'll bet.
Like, you look pretty clean for a fabricator, though. You know what I mean? Like, you don't have you're not like dirty.
When you start owning a business, right? And you started fabricating, you slowly start to not fabricate anymore and instead just
run a business.
Or do you
put out fires and you're basically everyone's a bitch at the shop now. So,
or do you think because like you've gotten to a point where you're so good that you don't get at it's like a chef in the kitchen. He's like not really that dirty because he's fucking dialed in. You know?
I'd rather not.
Yeah,
but
I was actually asking Steven the other day. I was thinking about fabricator stories. Like, what's have you ever been injured?
Oh yeah.
Like bad. Like, what's the worst injury you've had working on a car?
Actually, fabricator injury stories. I feel like it's been so many years that they're all a blur now, but the normal hit my head on the car rack, I've had
we do that and we're not fabricators.
I've had two of those that put me to the ground. One of them I was by myself and definitely was out for a second and kind of came, I don't know, it was a quick one.
Yeah.
I was like, man, thank God nothing happened because I'm here by myself. But
Chris and I have both dropped ourselves to the knees,
dude.
Smacking a lift head on. And
yeah.
I've seen Chris get hit bad, right? Because he wears that hat and then he fucking walks right into
it. Probably can't see well either. But
you were telling me one that you know the wire when you're welding, the wire stick that comes out. He said he put one through his fucking.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that. Yeah, that was a long time ago. I welding on a roll cage, right? And I think I was probably tacking a tube, and I was holding it with my hand and. Actually, not a lot of people probably do this, but I actually wear a welding mask that's non-auto darkening. So I'm super old school. So for the welders out there that know this, I weld with a $12 helmet.
Really?
Non-auto darkening.
Just because you've done it that way for so long?
I grew up in a muffler shop with the shittiest equipment and the shittiest welders, and that's where I learned how to weld.
What muffler shop?
Enox Muffler.
Okay.
Well, I wouldn't want to say it's shitty, but they're not around anymore. But
you gotta love how. Oh, good.
It's old school. It's old school shop, and I think back then when I look at the welding that was done, and it's not bad, but not what I do. So I would still a basic truck take over there and be like, yeah, that's the place.
Dude, everyone in high school would go to this one muffler shop in North Hollywood, and it was chop shop shit. You would see the fucking welds, it was clumped up, and everyone would just go get muffler deletes, and then we'd all get tickets at school, so we'd go have them put the muffler back on.
I'm not even gonna say anything.
What?
Nothing.
It's all the Armos getting fucking muffler deletes on G37s. I already know.
Come on.
Chetty bum, bro.
Dude, I had one kid who, he got a ticket 5 different times, and he would go put his muffler back on, get it fixed. The welds were just conglomerate of fucking.
I went to one of those for my car.
Subject.
I went to one of those for my car, and it was the booger, it was just
bad.
crazy bad. Yeah,
actually, the first time I came in this lot was because the muffler fucking flew off the car. It was hanging, dragging, and I pulled in, and Dennis fucking welded it on for me. Before I even knew you guys. Just came to this lot, and I was like, Dennis was the only car guy I knew. I was like, help me, bro, the muffler's dragging on the floor.
There's so much bad stuff out there.
Dennis has definitely gotten that call from me a number of times. The funny one is, a handful of times when we're shooting, a car will break down or break, and we're up on Wentworth. All right, I go through my first call, couple of tow guys, and when I hit 0, where I'm like, yeah, I'm screwed right now. I usually hit Junior, and go, dude, any chance anybody can just run one of the flatbeds over here real quick?
Dude.
They've bailed me out a number of times, man.
It's good to have people in those resources. The back to that roll cage deal with the auto darkening, I did put my finger, like the welding wire hit the tube and it gets hot, right? Like that's what it's a MIG gun.
Yeah.
So it's just wire fed. It hits. Well, I hit the tube and then it just kind of veered off. So it was hot. It just went right. And I could feel it go through my finger and hit the backside of my nail on the inside, you know?
Ooh. Brutal, dude.
But it cauterized at the same time. So it kind of like whoosh, pulled out and it's just like smells like shit. You know?
How long have you been welding it by this point?
Smelled his finger.
Then?
Yeah.
I mean, honestly, I don't remember, but I'd have to say at least like 5
We're
years
laughing
of
at
that.
you for smelling your finger, by the way.
You ever smell burnt skin, dude? It smells terrible.
Yeah. I had years ago, you can kind of see this flat spot here on my thumb. I used to work at a sandwich shop.
Oh, you sliced it?
The meat slicer.
Ooh.
And I didn't like to use the block. I like to get the better slice. Yeah. So
like the
got a good grip of the meat.
Yeah.
and I went,
like the
"Wow, don't
bandsaw."
use that meat." Blood was just squirting everywhere. But they at the hospital, they did silver nitrate.
Ooh.
Liquid silver, liquid hot silver. They just put it on there and it stinks like crazy. And oh, dude, I've broken a lot of bones. That's still the worst pain I think I ever felt.
Finger
was-
injuries, I'd say, are like super all the time for me. Like
I'll bet.
Hammer right, just
Straight to
bam,
it.
right to the finger.
We've had a lot of injuries too from doing stupid shit on dirt bikes and side by sides.
I've
And
crashed a couple cars.
any crazy glamis stories?
I have a lot of crazy
Bottomless,
glamour stories.
actually.
Yeah, I have lots
Yeah, that
of
was a
glamour
bad
stories.
question, huh? Any crazy glamis stories? No, fucking all of them.
Yeah, we can go on for hours on those ones. I've had my dad and I crash a rail when I was like 10. Just showed up to Glamis. It was like Thanksgiving, I believe. So we're there for like a week.
Yeah, get a little closer to the mic.
My
You could pull it towards you too.
my dad gets a brand new buggy that my mom just hated. There's 4 of us in the family, and the buggy has 2 seats. So that was probably the first problem. She was angry. But anyways, it was like some drag
I love
car.
your dad. He's a strategic thinker, man.
Yeah, he's just like the rest of us. He gets this buggy. It's a Volkswagen like turboed car. It's called a Mazone, I think, buggy, which is for people that know sand cars and sand rails back in the day. It's like a I-beam front or beam front end, V-dub beam front end. Everything's polished, no shocks. It's just like all torsion. Super drag car back then, old school, fast, 300 something horsepower. The car is probably like 1,200 pounds.
Wow.
Yeah, it's rocket ship. And then those were the buggies back then that were badass. Now they're 2,000 horsepower and $400,000. But
It's crazy. Yeah.
so we got in that thing really quick. Hey, Steven, want to go for it? I was always the one down for the ride, And that's no shirt. Hey, hop in really quick. Let's go for a little cruise. First dune, just off the top.
Wow.
Land at the bottom. I woke up upside down. I remember opening my eyes and looking through the cage and like seeing the ground coming like midair.
Wow.
It was like,
Crazy.
this is fucked, And he was like halfway out the car in the harnesses, like head out.
Oh, you
knocked
thought your
out.
dad was
I
dead,
thought he was
bro.
dead. Yeah.
Oh my
I thought he was
God.
dead. I woke up. I was about 10. We were no far than like a football field away from camp. Like super close. It just got on it. Went through the gears and it was just silent. It was just off the top.
Crazy.
And I know the exact dune. I can take anybody to it to this day. Woke up, car's pinned, like throttle stuck. Tires are like, the car's like bent into U. It's upside down. I'm hanging in harnesses. I unstrap. I fall to the ground. I get out. Someone was already coming, like they must have saw us do it. I don't know if I was out or not, but ran over. Oh, where are you guys camped? I was like, I'm just camped right here, And I'm like seeing my dad like head out the cage, out cold.
Wow.
Definitely a scary moment.
I'll bet.
And I immediately just got in the car. I was like, taking back to camp, I need to get my mom. And it's funny, the guy who owned Enoch's muffler shop where I worked was a really good family friend, but he was with us, which showed me everything of Glamis.
The shitty muffler shop.
Yeah. So then we came back and my dad was awake and out the car screaming like for me because he woke up and I wasn't in the car.
You're not there.
Oh my
He thinks
God.
so.
I thought he
Oh,
launched
wow.
you out way back there, bro.
Oh, no.
And on top of that, he's just like bearings.
Sure.
Missing. We ended up both going on a stretcher to the hospital for that night, and he broke his wrist, his ankle, and
Maybe that's why Mike's so short.
Back. Yeah, he just gets like
he gets shorter
as he breaks it. I think he breaks like his back and they just pull out the spine part and they drop it back down.
He's like morphing into Baby Yoda, you know?
Like a Tetris little thing.
All you guys though is the truth. I mean, I think
he does the least amount of cool shit and somehow is the most amount of hurt.
Yeah,
you got to admit that break in the back story. That's
beach
one
cruiser.
You got to come up with a better story.
Dad, you're making it on the podcast.
Yeah, I'm on
today.
a beach cruiser and I'm on a bridge and I just went off the bridge. Like you what?
Yeah, and then I get a call in Havasu as I'm having a great time with half naked women on boats and I got to leave.
Half naked, you made him get dressed for a little bit.
Dad, I got a boner. I can't come right now.
It's like, can you just break your back in like a couple more days? But anyways, we had to rush back, and that was a mission. But
you guys, I've heard so many. I mean, I haven't been obviously because I'm a total pussy about the idea of glamis, but
you'll be fine.
You know what my fear is?
I know a lot of it sounds like fun, but it also, like I mean, dude, I'm smart enough to look at video footage of the treachery waiting for you if you don't understand lines to take and stuff. I've heard so many stories of different friends of ours out there first 20 times and almost every time they roll a car.
Yeah, I mean, it happens a lot. I would say no matter how skillful of a driver you are, the sand dunes are like a spot that puts everybody at like a level playing field. Like you can be an F1 driver and we're going to go to the dunes and like you're going to look like you never fucking drove anything in your life.
Well, the thing is, it's like the wild, wild west out there, you know? Like,
it gets pretty crazy.
Like people can die out there.
I got some good glamour stories of that shit.
Have you seen anyone die out there?
I have seen people die.
Okay, see, that's my problem though. And here's the thing. If you die out there, it's kind of like, well, you were doing stupid shit, you know?
Yeah,
like,
I mean, it's just like getting in an accident on the street. I mean, there's more chance, I feel like there's more chance of you getting in an accident every day driving here and home than it is being in Glamis.
Really?
100%.
Really?
For sure. Yeah, dude, you're like on a paved road that is the only place you can take. The dunes are open.
I get it,
like,
but out there,
the chances of
you guys
someone,
are going for it. There's a lot of drinking and partying happening.
Some people are better drinking.
I'm not. I mean, this is the bottom line. I say this all the time lately.
You have to know what you're doing.
We have all picked hobbies that are fucking dangerous, no matter how you look at it. Like just driving a hot rod down the road. Cruising can be dangerous.
There's a lot of things involved that can happen very quickly.
Yeah,
for sure.
like if you get T-boned in a Shelby Cobra, that's the equivalent to a motorcycle.
Dead. Yeah,
you're gonna die, bro.
Or crap, anything that open cockpit deal.
But it's just the nature of it, you know. Dude, I get on my Harley all the time. It's one of my favorite
Harley's
things
probably
to
the
do.
worst. Like you're worried about Glamis. I'm more worried about you getting hit on the Harley, just fucking going home.
But you know what I mean? How what a. It's just such a.
That's why I don't have a Harley, guys. That's exactly why.
Yeah, but see, if you did, because you ride and drive like an asshole. You're good at it.
It's a good thing you don't have one, bro.
It is a good thing I don't.
And he's got a kid on the way, dude.
Yeah,
I feel like you're gonna tone down a lot.
I'll probably buy a Harley right when my kid's born. So like 2 months.
That's backwards.
Is it 2 months?
2 months. I'm gonna have a daughter.
Wow, dude.
I told him to name her Kylie after me. So every time she says, "What'd you name me after?" Oh, just some retard down the street.
Have you guys picked a name?
Yeah,
you have.
Stevie.
Really?
Oh, cool,
dude. I love. Frankie's daughter, Stevie.
Yeah, Frankie's
too.
daughter, Stevie. Yeah, it's always been like, all right, if I have a daughter, her name's gonna be Stevie.
That's cool though. That's a cool girl's name.
Yeah,
you know, you guys are gonna be rad parents, man. That like. This girl's gonna be doing. I'll bet you she's doing backflips way before she's got her driver's license.
I know. My parents always told me like, I really hope your kids put you through the ringer like we did, because
hell yeah.
You know, I always think about stuff like, Dad, why didn't you take me to the track more? Why didn't you? You know, because like I still ride and I consider myself a pretty good rider and do a lot of dumb shit and
you do
jump some big jumps and I like to ride fast, but. He's like, you know, it's just like, if you get hurt, man, you know, it's like, I'd feel responsible for it. And it's like, now that it's like happening, I would start to kind of really think about that. Like,
I'll bet.
You know, I've crashed my motorcycle with my dog on it. And like, I fucking was crying. Yeah,
that's
right here.
That's why Zoe acts the way she does. She's a little fucking crooked,
dude,
bro.
I was wheeling with her here in the alleyway, like on this quad. She used to put her paws on the bars. And I just wheelie. And there's just one time I don't know, like I either grabbed the brake a little too early and just brought it down quick, and I saw her just starting to eject over the bars, you know, and we were doing like a good like 15 miles an hour. Like she was gonna.
You launched that.
And I'm gonna run her over after she falls in front of me, you know? So I did like in a wheelie, I see her kind of leap to like she knew shit was going down. So she's like, I'm out, right? So she dips out. This is my little Boston Terrier dog. And I try to grab her legs and I miss and I like slap her legs. I could just picture the little chicken legs. Yeah, she's gonna make it, you know? And I'm like, no, bam. And then she's like tripping someone and just right on her face on the asphalt. And like she looks up at me. You know, I luckily stopped before I ran her over.
That's a good thing.
Looks at me like with those eyes and her lips split, and I'm like, man, I've done that before. Yeah,
I swear
don't come after us, PETA. PETA's coming for us.
That has become
right here next door. They're gonna knock on my door
because of your guys' 2 dogs. That has literally become when I can slow up a bit and have a dog. Yeah, that's the dog I'm getting. I'm getting a Boston,
dude. Okay.
They have that cute, funny face, right?
Yeah,
like
cool.
they land in the Frenchie world.
My dog's one of the smartest dogs I've ever met.
That's
in
the
my life,
thing.
So.
The Frenchies are smart. Or I mean, the Bostons definitely not smart. Yeah. No, they're
very cool, but not very smart.
No, they're really
it's a
cute.
Terrier in them. The dog's a terrier.
They're smart dogs.
Just get a fucking pound dog, dude. Pound dogs.
But I want a Boston.
Are the best.
I want a Boston
dog?
Like ones from the pound that are want to be
like
saved.
A shelter dog.
You know?
Yeah.
Everybody, my buddies that got a pound dog has been like the most loyal. They're so grateful to be, you know,
and
in a
cheap,
good home.
Bro. Dude, my cousin's got this golden doodle dog.
They'll just give them away.
Dude, some people spend like $5,000 on dogs, 10 grand on dogs. Like,
and then they're dumb as hell.
Yeah, what do you do? And they're like health problems and shit. Like,
bunch.
Go get that shelter puppy, man.
I just like the Bostons though, man. I really like that dog because of Rose and
dogs.
Zoe. They're cool.
And she's small.
And I like how even though they're small, you can take them everywhere. But they're not the small, annoying dog. They just chill, hang out. They kind of, I
feel like your dog fabricates too. Like she's got the Will mask on in there. Yeah. She's fucking getting down with it.
She's been around a lot of welds. She used to sleep in the shop when I first got her because she goes to, shop with me every day. The little shop rags that are like the little red ones, you get from Cintas. They come in your channel the rags. I used to put a rag on the ground. And it was like 10 inches by 10 inches. And she would sleep perfectly on that.
That's her zone.
A little ball.
She's like smoking
cigarettes.
She
was so small.
Now she's got the fake grass out there.
Yeah. And she's like rolling around in grease and shit. And
how old is she?
She's
24.
12. Yeah, 12.
Wow.
There she'll be 13, I believe.
Wow.
Yeah.
I had a Boston Terrier when I was
Did you
up.
really?
Yeah.
Good dog.
For like,
was it dumb? Was it dumb?
Yeah, it was pretty stupid actually.
Oh shit!
Yeah, it would always get out, and then like one time we came home, and it was out in our front yard. It sees us pull up and tries to get back into our backyard, like squeeze through the fence. But it couldn't.
I like it's gotten away with.
So it's kind of smart. It knows what's going on.
Yeah, but you're more of a Chihuahua guy, bro.
Yeah,
I feel like you look like a Chihuahua too.
Say Hispanic.
All right, thanks, dog. Appreciate it.
Chihuahua.
Kyle always, where he can, he throws in his racist remarks about him being a beaner.
Okay, now we're 2 for 2 on the beaner. I thought we were done with that on the first podcast. We don't use those words. We don't use those words here.
Best thing about LA, we have every single type here.
You call me beaner, you call me cholo, you call me that every single day.
Hey, I'm a Jew, dude. My people have been persecuted, since
so have
biblical,
mine. We had the Armenian genocide,
biblical
bro.
times. That's right.
Yeah.
That's right.
What did I do?
You guys built Chichen Itza, so
what do you got going on project wise these days? You got big ones right now at all?
I have.
You're doing my brothers, right?
I'm doing your brother, which with your brother, it's always something wild. But it's been a little bit of a roller coaster with your brother's truck, only because we're building some hot rods, and with hot rods comes a lot of history and a lot of things that are unseen until you get in there. So I'm building this 1,000 horsepower big block Chevy K5 for your brother, which you know that.
Yep.
But I just have to say 1,000
That's
horsepower
the
because it
632
sounds
motor?
good. Yeah.
Yeah.
So the 632 big block, that Chevy performance motor. Super excited about that because me, I have actually Fords and Chevys, more Fords than Chevys, but I'm definitely super into, Chevy big block stuff. Like, I love it. I grew up
that
in
motor,
it.
that motor's so fucking cool, dude.
It just sounds cool.
Yeah.
When you say it,
We've shot a couple vehicles that had that engine, and it's great.
I don't think a lot of people are still really doing it, and for the price, it's crazy because
how much is the motor?
That motor, I think, to the door was like 33 grand.
Yeah.
Like, what are you going to build with 1,000 horsepower?
Yeah, but you got to deal with
you
got to deal with the size of that. I mean,
but you don't have to deal with like turbo any blower.
No, I know, but in the Blazer, I get it. But like we shot a 70, 71. I can't remember what year Chevelle.
I'm always working on trucks, but I get
big, huge scoop just to deal with the intake.
Well, I definitely did. Like right now, I put the motor in. The motor is as wide as it is long. So it's like 29 inches, like from the corner of the valve cover to corner of the valve cover. That's this wide, dude. It's like, to put it in perspective, it's like as wide as that sign. It's freaking huge.
Jeez.
So we had to cut out the firewall a bunch, and I moved it back while I was in there anyways, doing the firewall. But I'm pretty pumped on that project because I am a Blazer fanatic, and it's just cool, and it's just they're
K5
big,
era,
they're just big. They got a bunch of room. They look beautiful. It's a 72 K5.
Agreed.
I grew up in that stuff, so of course, since I grew up in it, it's just stuff that I want to go back to and rekindle that.
Just
that
a little
flame.
more like it, right, like you, Kyle, right there.
How long have you been fabricating
There
for?
we go. Thank you.
I mean, I'm 35 now. I would say by the time I first picked up like a welder and started building things, I was probably like 13, I would say.
That crazy, man.
Yeah, and I see like 13-year-old kids now. And
I was still jerking my gherkin at 13.
Yeah, well, I still did that.
Oh.
But
did you do it like because you needed to, or because you just wanted to work at that time?
This is great questions. Dude, I've been building shit for as long as I possibly can remember. So
I remember your dad telling me stories about you as a little kid tearing shit apart. I would lock me up in the
living room, dude, and build Legos and Connects with no instructions and just build like this crazy, boats, offshore boats, trailers with lifted dualies and race trucks that I'd build as a kid.
Yeah.
And I would bring them to like the old off-road shows as like this is like 5 years old to.
Now you can tell, dude, you love it. You like.
It
my
was
favorite
not like,
thing is when
am I
people
going to be a builder? It's like, dude, you're definitely going to build.
This is what you do. It's just what you do. 100%. I mean, bro, how many times am I in here on a weekend, on a Saturday? Sometimes, I mean, you're pretty good about taking Sundays off, but I mean, a lot of times you're here on a Saturday working on your own shit or on one of your friends' things, and
this is my favorite day, is Saturday, to work on things.
You can tell you love it, man. That's the. Now, I say bullshit to the people that say, oh, well, when you do what you love, it's not working. Nah, it's still fucking working.
Dude, I've been through
But you're lucky to love, like
shit.
me, you love what you do work-wise, where it's like, yeah, cool, I'm going to work today. You don't wake up going, fuck, I got to go to, because I've had those jobs.
Yeah. I mean, I still do that. Don't get me wrong. And there's ups and downs. I would, I'm young, but I feel like I've been through a lot.
Yeah.
And now that I look back, I feel like I'm 6 years old with the experiences I've had because I started way early.
You did. You started your business, what, 18 years old, Steven?
07. So that is like, I looked at my tax or my like resale thing the other day. Like, when was it? It's like 07.
I was 7 years old, bro.
Dude. So was I.
7 years old.
So it's like, I don't feel like I've had it that long, but I also don't remember ever not having it. So it feels like it's just been my whole life of building things and being. I grew up in a shop, so that kind of. Luckily, like everyone always asks, that's like the most common question I get all the time, because we're losing builders. We're losing fabricators. We're losing kids that can do anything really at all. So I get that, and I want to help as much as I can in that era, but it depends. Like it's like you have to dedicate your life to it, to getting that generation to
I feel
come
like
up building. But
I feel like they don't push that kind of stuff anymore.
They definitely don't.
Well,
I mean, I was
you went
the
to
last.
Burbank High, right? We had auto shop,
bro. It was
what was his name, Mr. Lopez?
I had Lopez and Kay, and I don't want to say too.
Steven,
I had
when
another.
I was there, you were there when auto shop was happening.
Yeah.
My sophomore year.
Yeah, they got rid of it.
It went away,
dude.
I got to experience
auto shop was the coolest thing ever, and
bro, we had turbos in the shop. We had a factory like a fake Factory 5 Cobra they were working on.
They had that before when I got there, dude, and they never even did anything.
You know how it stopped? So you get ROI money.
ROP
or whatever it is. You get
the budgets got pulled.
Well, no, what happened was Mr. Lopez took all the money from that he was supposed to spend on tools and stuff for the class, and he put it in his Beamer.
Yeah,
and they were like, "What the fuck?" Like,
did he have a cool Beamer?
Like E30, But it was like
I have great stories from that too.
From Mr. Yeah.
Just like high school auto shop, which is like a big.
Wasn't Dennis's dad?
Dennis was the auto shop teacher.
This Dennis
McCarthy.
Dennis Senior, not his dad, right?
He was the auto shop teacher, and the year I went into high school, at my school, the year I went into high school, because I already knew him, and we already knew each other, because like him and my dad and all them Burbank guys, they've all been building big block Chevy trucks, and Dennis is like the legend of big block Chevys.
I can only imagine him.
That guy
when you're a kid, he's probably
cam
the dude.
and crank and like just
insane. Yeah.
And Dennis is a big part of why I do what I do too. So like he was just another, you know, I wouldn't say father figure, but just like another dude to look up to be like, oh yeah,
sure.
You know, and still is. So between him, my dad, and just everybody in Burbank, that there's multiple people like this guy Maurice who owns Offroad Unlimited, which is still around today.
Yep.
That's where I grew up in that shop.
Yeah.
And he gave me all the tools.
Because didn't your dad work there a bunch of years?
Yeah, my dad worked there, and you know, ran quite a bit of it. And, we've seen, you know, shops start, shops peak, shops crash, go out of business. You know, like a lot of good
it's
things.
It's kind of interesting when you think about it. Like we're, you know, city of LA, right? But Burbank's Burbank.
Dude,
it is its own. It's still a little bit of Mayberry going on over there.
It's 1950s. It's Back to the Future. You know, it's like
there's a charm to it. I agree.
It's not what it is or was, you know, anymore.
I'm sure.
But
there's still elements. You drive down Magnolia, dude. It's the fucking Waltz transmissions and Billy Bob's mufflers.
But you know what? They're not owned by those people anymore. That's the problem. It's
Hulk and
still
Henrik,
the same name, but it's.
But I think it's also I think there's a lot of people in. I don't know. I lived in Burbank for a little over 3 years, and compared to the city of LA, you know,
it's definitely a little honey hole.
Like over there, the cops care. They're some people don't like the cops over there because they're on it, but. I don't know. Me as a tax-paying citizen, I'll take a cop that wants to do his job.
Burbank is like a Universal Studios set. Like it's almost not a real.
Well, dude, you got to remember,
it's very
like
Truman show.
Mayberry.
Hey,
we have Bob's Big Boy.
Bob's Big Boy.
I know Chris is following me on Mayberry at least.
Oh, totally.
These guys are like, the fuck are you talking about?
I remember when that
Mayberry?
show came out. I watched the first episode.
Yeah. We have a lot of culture for cars in our area, which I think take for granted, and is like totally overseen how grateful we have it here in Burbank, because you can drive 4 blocks and get anything you want.
100%.
The best hardware stores, the best builders, some of the best, most
powder
iconic
coating,
even
interior,
car builders have been in this
rod,
town or within
100%,
10 miles. We got Rod Emery down the street. We have Hollywood Hot Rods right here.
Jay Leno
Leno's
here.
next door to us. Like we have
Dennis McCarthy.
We have the biggest picture car builders. Which is another thing that I've been a part of, which has been amazing with Dennis. Like I built Top Gear cars. I got to weld and help build that last Batmobile right here next door.
Which is so crazy, huh?
Yeah, next door, which was one of the coolest things to put on my resume.
That's got to be fun to look at that on the screen
I'm gonna
and
tell
go,
my
man.
kid, hey, dude, I fucking helped build that Batmobile. Like, what's up?
That's legend. And funny, you know, I was watching the Christian Bale Batmans with the tumbler, which I dig. The tumbler's rad.
Yeah. I think the tumbler was built overseas.
But the one Dennis did for like, I mean, I remember him telling me his concept was basically a Formula One car mixes with a trophy truck.
Yeah. Well, Dennis always has to put in his little off-roads.
Got to work in.
The reason why Fast and Furious movies have all the cool off-road shit, 100% Dennis.
100%.
Yeah. So
I got an idea. Let's build a 68 Charger on 37s.
Yeah, but on a Pro 2 chassis. But dude, that's what makes it cool. And really, I think maybe a lot of people didn't know about that kind of off-road stuff until they see it mainstream. And it's like, whoa.
Well, especially when you see it working. That's the thing.
This
is
off-road
like
stuff is taking off, dude.
Did you see that C10 he did?
Huge.
It was, I forgot what movie it was, but Jamie
Foxx.
Foxx
It was for the Jamie Foxx movie, the pool cleaner vampire slayer.
That truck is sick.
Badass.
It is a sick truck.
We could just get one. It's right here in the parking lot. You can go
right
hotwire it right now and drive it around
right.
if you want.
Well, like the C10 that has the off-road shit all over it?
Yeah, man.
Can you pull that up, Josh?
It's right out there on one of the containers. There's
the lady that painted and patinaed that car is going to help me patina this next 54 Chevy that I'm building.
Look up Jamie Foxx.
Cool. You're doing a 54
C10
Chevy?
off-road.
I'm doing a 54 Chevy, yeah.
Truck? Okay.
Yeah. Which is pretty cool. That's another good build I'm doing. Not crazy. Not my big like off-road fabrication like tube suspension kind of background, but more of just like, hey man, make this thing look good, powder coated, but it's patina.
Street truck hot rod.
Street truck.
This is it right here. Look at that thing.
Yeah, they're cool, man.
Wait, is that in Burbank, bro? Is that
it's all Burbank.
I don't know. It says Northridge. I'm going to go with Northridge.
I'm sure there's glimpses of everything. That looks like Sheldon right there.
They reused the Chargers from Fast and Furious for that scene. From the
The truck's sick though. I mean, it's basic. I remember Dennis saying it's basically on a Pro 2 chassis.
Well,
that's
not
a
that
long
one.
bed too,
Not
right?
that one.
No?
Not that one. But they're basic. I mean, they're basic built stuff.
They put it in
looks good
GTA
on camera
already.
for sure, and it's got to work. But
Wait, click on that
it's
one.
definitely
right there.
like a
Go
cookie
Which
cutter,
one?
cookie cutter stuff.
Down.
They usually build like one badass
To the
car,
right of your mouse.
and then there's 4 other ones that are to fill in all the shit.
Oh,
you
I
know?
thought that was
Yeah,
that
yeah,
shop
for
right
sure.
here. Never mind. That's just a Mexican guy with a guitar with a C10.
Well, you're back to.
It's my uncle, bro.
That's your Tio, fool.
That's a nice Dodge, though.
That truck was badass.
Yeah, I
that was
like that.
actually a super fun movie. I don't know if you saw it, but it's a really fun. I watched it because I wanted to see. I watch anything Dennis builds. Honestly, I just do. That was actually a super fun movie.
I haven't seen the movie, but I like that truck.
I mean, Jamie Foxx is always cool as fuck. That truck gets down. It's cool. It's really cool. But that's badass, dude. I didn't know you were part of the Batmobile.
Yeah, I had one of really good fabricators that worked for like Robbie Gordon. This guy Johnny, he actually passed away this last year, I believe, which was definitely hit home. He was just a guy that built vehicles that I used to like draw on my notebook in school.
Wow.
And doodle, his trucks that he built and helped build. And then I never knew in my life, thinking in elementary school, or that I would grow up and be building this truck.
That's sick.
Yeah.
A Batmobile alongside this guy,
Wow.
and I have a lot of those type of situations and
Yeah.
stories in my life that kind of got me to where I'm at.
Yeah.
And I think make me a little different than a lot of other people out there. And because I've basically been self-taught like my entire life.
Yeah.
I have all the tools at my disposal, but like I've never really like worked alongside a lot of people. I've kind of just always done my own thing and just kind of built things and learned and paid attention and fucked up a lot of shit and learned the hard way and got me here. Started a business early, fucked up a bunch of tax shit, fucked up a bunch of business stuff.
Yeah.
Definitely was broke for a long time. And made no money, but I was a kid, so at least it didn't hurt me really that much. But
And now you're all grown up, dude.
Yeah, still broke.
But
Still make
now
that
you got
decision.
a wife.
yeah, I have a beautiful, very smart wife.
We'd all been giving him grief for a number of years about
No,
Not
actually,
proposing.
the
your
last
girlfriend.
one we
She's
did-
still your girlfriend. When are you going to marry this woman? By the way,
Every time somebody said that, I added like 2 more weeks.
you know what's funny though, dude? I obviously I've been to a lot of fucking weddings in my life. The 2 highlight weddings, hands down, 0 questions asked. My brothers, because my little brothers.
Yeah, by the way, I'm so mad at him for that because he didn't tell me
didn't
it was
tell
going to be a
anyone.
surprise. I
He
know,
didn't tell
but
anyone, dude.
if I was out of town that weekend and like your brother is like family to me and all you guys
yeah,
are family
yeah,
to
for
me.
sure.
So if he would have been like, hey, Steven, you should be there, like wink, wink, dude, I would have
he
been
didn't
there.
do you know he told Steph's parents about 15 minutes before the wedding?
Yeah.
Hey, Len, we need you to walk her down because this is actually about to turn into a wedding.
It's one thing that I missed out that I'm like really bummed about.
But that one, I tell you what, that one, partially because it was so beautiful and unique and interesting, and it was a surprise. It was a fucking pop
it's
up
just a
wedding,
party,
right? That's
you know?
pretty badass.
Yeah.
And my brother and Steph, how they do shit like full on, they just do it right.
Yeah, for sure.
But yours was fucking exceptional. The amount of thought you and Amanda put into a destination wedding, right? So like thought into where everybody was going to stay. I mean, Jesus Christ, just between the 2 damn houses, you guys had what, like 60 people or something.
Dude, I mean,
but it was so well done down to like,
well, by the way, you missed the ceremony.
I'm tempted to tell
you
him.
missed the ceremony though. So
Sean, you
you're
missed the
still
ceremony?
indebted for the rest of your life on that one.
Oh
I
my
caught the.
God.
You missed
we
the
caught.
ceremony.
We
Your
caught the.
car's here for free forever, bro.
Hey, fuck you. We caught the last 10 minutes of it, and I'm not even going to get into why we weren't there, but you can imagine there was one person involved that caused us to be about 20 minutes fucking late. So that said,
Dude,
that said,
and I don't think we're gonna have to worry about that anymore, are
but
we?
one of my favorite parts about the wedding, dude, you come up to me. So at the reception, right? We're outside. Thank God they've got heaters everywhere because it's in Colorado in October. Excuse me, Utah. Utah and Colorado.
Must have been a good time. He forgot where he was.
Yeah.
It's a beautiful place.
I'm standing underneath this heating lamp, maybe having a couple of cocktails, and that's the limits of my party. And Steven and his pals go a whole different route sometimes. And so Steven comes up to me and we're talking for a second. He's very warm and fuzzy. Steven's in a mode this night.
In a good mood.
Yeah, really good mood. And then I was like, I feel so good under here, but my head's getting really hot. And he touches my head.
Oh, God.
For the next 3 minutes straight, this guy's rubbing my head going, oh, it feels so good. It's still one of my favorite memories with you, I swear.
That sounds pretty gay, bro.
Yeah, but it was such a well thought out, because you think about destination weddings, you can leave a lot of people high and dry than the wedding part itself. But there was so much thought put into, we got there for the night before you got everybody tattooing everybody.
Yeah, I had a tattoo. I had like 4 or 5 tattoo people tattooing the night before at the reception.
Let me see the tattoo.
Just tattooed.
Plus you tattooing your brother's ass.
Yeah, I tattooed a couple people's ass, I think. I got this thing. It says "Love You." It's between my wife and I that we always have said since day one. But I got this little bull here on my wrist, and actually Amanda tattooed me here. AP, which is not
Armenian pride, bro.
Or American Pride. It's just Amanda Parks.
Yeah, well, that's
right. But
for me, that's
Armenian also pride. Can be American Pride if everything ever goes south. So it's worked perfect.
It was just so good. I mean, you think of all the weddings you've ever been to in your life. I mean, how many?
I have
fucking
good
weddings?
Friends.
And for that,
good friends make a good wedding. I'll tell you that.
I wish I
and good family, and 2 good families on both sides.
Yeah, totally, dude.
It was seamless. I mean, our one of our best friends is actually the wedding coordinator. So. Lives next door to us.
Really?
Yeah, Pat's. You met my buddy Pat. His actually just proposed to her too, so they're going to get married here in August, and we're going to Mammoth, and hopefully I get to return the favor and have a bunch of fun there.
That makes sense that somebody was involved, because not to take anything away from you and Amanda, but down
Amanda
to
was a huge part though too.
Every little fucking thing, dude. Every little detail. I still have I have a couple of the bills. The wedding bills that you had, they like made counterfeit money with them on it. It's fucking awesome.
Strippers.
Nice.
For the strippers.
Did you guys have strippers?
No. Maybe.
Well,
I don't know.
They weren't working.
How much can I say on this?
All of it?
I can edit it out.
All of it? We can take shit out if you go, nah, it was a little much.
No, I don't know. Maybe I shouldn't.
Doesn't that make you wonder right there, you guys? Don't you wonder now what the fuck you want to talk about?
Well, let's just say
here?
this. I didn't have to pay for any cars in the pool, which was, thank God that didn't happen, because the pool, you could just drive right into it.
Wait, what? You guys drove a car into the pool?
No, I'm just saying, like, we were looking at this wedding venue.
They were contemplating it.
And me and my friends, my friends and I, and definitely myself, make just dumb decisions when I get drunk. And it's my wedding.
So you add that to the already existing stupidity.
What's the budget of, like, things that we're going to fuck up? And that didn't happen, which is I kind of feel like a bitch. But
did you guys ever?
I'm glad it didn't happen.
Did you? So out in front of the house where the reception was at,
motorcycles.
Did you guys end up doing that? Because I wasn't there for the motorcycles out on the raft to freak
we had
your
all
brother
the dirt
out.
Bikes. Oh yeah, we had dirt bikes at the house, and we had we towed out my '67, the Lincoln, which was a huge hit. Oh, and I got married in Vegas, technically on the way out.
Did you?
I did.
I didn't know about that part.
I went to the Little White Chapel. Nobody knew. Only my friends knew. Our families didn't even know. To
That's
legally
cool.
get married in Utah, you had to like go to this court and do all this paperwork and blah, blah, blah. And I was like, you know what, dude? We're fucking bombing through Vegas like that morning. Let's just make a stop at the White Chapel.
Not even a plan. You just pull in and let's go.
Well, yeah, we had a plan with the homies. Like, hey, we're getting married on the way out. But like, no one knows about this shit. Keep it low key. Because we went out. Luckily for my buddies, we went out for the whole week. So my closest like friends and, you know, we all towed our side-by-sides out, our dirt bikes, trailers, and it was like 8 deep going to fucking Utah through Vegas. And we stopped at Little White Chapel right when they opened.
So cool.
I put on my outfit like Kid Rock, dude.
No
cowboy
shit.
hat. Have you not seen this video?
I have not seen the Vegas part of this.
Send it to Josh. And, maybe
we got to put this in the edit. We're not going to just say it. We're going to put it in, right?
I can't believe you haven't seen that. But anyways, I pulled the Lincoln out and pulled the Lincoln through the Little White Chapel and
Had
just
no
got
idea.
married right there.
Had no idea,
Yeah.
dude.
This guy's a
Wow,
Text it to me so I can put it in the
I'm
video.
a total sucker. Like I thought.
Did you even go to this wedding, bro?
You know,
This fucking guy. You should have invited me, Steven. I wanted to go, bro.
Do me a favor, just fuck yourself for a minute while I talk.
Kyle,
I could have came, bro. I know I could have came.
you
You should
should've.
have told me last minute. I would have.
There's plenty of room. The houses, each house slept 50 people.
Dude, they had
insane.
2 of these massive fucking houses that literally 50 people. Now, granted, some of those people were sleeping in the theater room.
Yeah.
Yeah, but they don't.
Yeah, we had 2 theater rooms.
No, you
that
don't
were
care
like,
there though.
Yeah.
Dude, that one theater room was insane. It was
And
like,
we had that pad up above, so we could look down on. We could see a bit of the insanity when we left. We were like, "Yeah, getting a little out there for us." We could still look down and see them fucking total mayhem, ready to go.
how do I find this video? I have too much.
Oh, you can send it
shit.
to me later. Fuck it.
A question. I wanted to go back to Batman.
Go,
So, like,
hit
did
it.
you have to build the whole car? How did they came to you and they're like, "Hey, build this"?
No,
Or-
I am not that talented. I was just like, come weld this chassis. Like, you're right there. Dennis says you're good at welding. Come here at night after hours. And I was like, yeah, dude, I'd fucking love to like just get a little piece of me on that thing, you know?
So is that all paid by Warner?
It was through Dennis.
Through
which,
Dennis,
however,
yeah.
Dennis gets
Yeah,
paid.
yeah,
who
sure,
knows?
sure.
Honestly, dude, if they asked me to do it for free, but don't tell them that. I would have done it just because the cool factor, you know.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
actually, there's so many connections in all these stories that I've telling you, and they just all intertwine of like why I'm here. But like the dudes that actually were a big part of that too were a couple of my buddies that own a company that's called LSK, which is Lamer Street Creations, is where it started, and it started on Lamer Street
In Burbank, right?
in Burbank,
Yeah.
in
Wow.
front of Burroughs High School, and that was like one of like 2 or 3 houses that I like built things in the driveway.
No
Wow.
shit.
For like my buddies.
Wow.
And they also built stuff too. And that's where he lived. And like his, we had like the parents were like, here, use the driveway. And we just destroy this fucking place, with oil everywhere. And they built a Mustang there that's still running today, like an older Mustang. And, where we learned and just like didn't know what the fuck we were doing and doing shit.
Yeah.
Building 2 bumpers with like a bender with like a 10-foot like manual 2-bender. And those guys ended up, like I did my thing earlier than them, and then like they're very smart. A couple of them went to school. The business partner was like more of a hands-on guy, and they connected and they started another business, was like LSK, which they did off-road stuff, and they were in town. It was like not like we were both homies. It wasn't like we did really the same thing and had to worry about like a rivalry thing, because we were just, but like they did that shit. And then I started, I was like, oh, these fools are trying to like kind of get at my niche, but they like even surpassed me as far as like they got into just CNC and tube bending and like laser, and they went all in.
Yeah.
And now they have a huge facility in Fontana that's like 20,000 square feet.
Wow.
And they build like a lot of government shit. But anyways, they help build a lot of that designing too. And so like I built alongside them, and it's just like, dude, all these like little fingers of like, and a lot of it is like Dennis connecting a lot of that stuff. One is like Dennis was like, and my dad and a couple other people that are just in this realm of car stuff here in the town. It's like I'm my own era with all of them, how they were.
Right.
Then,
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
they all have their specialties of what they do, and like we all just do it together. So
You've also became your own version of what they were too.
for sure,
You know?
and
Like,
and I would
kids
say
look up
even
to you and say,
above,
"Steven,
like
SMP
I'm gonna
Fab."
go even further because
Yeah.
that's just how I am.
Yeah, yeah,
I want to
totally.
be better and whatever. But
What do you think is your coolest build that you've done? Like hardest, but you know how like TJ has that Baja
Yeah.
911, and he's just like, there's the
and
hardest
TJ, dude,
one.
like TJ's one of my best friends, and like look at that guy. It's just like we have like these
So
just
badass to see
badass
what's happening
motherfuckers
with-
right here that are all just making it
Rad
happen.
to
You know?
see what's happening
But
with
when you
that,
have
dude.
that around you, it's like, what do they say? Like you hang out rich people, you're gonna
You-
fucking
yeah,
get rich.
yeah.
If you're gonna hang
You
out
are who
fucking
you
losers,
surround
you're gonna
yourself
so
with.
you know what I'm
I
surrounded by
agree.
all these just
I
badass
agree.
people.
Yep.
And unless you're just a like natural born loser, like dude, you're gonna succeed as long as you want it. You know.
Yeah.
So I think that's a big part of like.
A lot of you guys though, like
it's a
TJ
competitiveness,
being-
but also just like a.
But it's a friendly competitive.
Oh, for
It's
sure.
the kind like where TJ goes, "Yo, I'm busting my ass for SEMA. Can you help out?" And,
And-
you're over there welding
dude.
all night long.
Never,
you know?
asked, I would never ask a dime. I went
Yeah,
over there
yeah, of
after
course.
my work and helped him, for the first one, and now he's out in Arizona, like just just a waiting list of cars to be built.
Dude, it's so fun to see.
Such a talented
do you know probably about
I got so many good stories.
Probably about 2 years before he moved to Arizona, he still owned the white one. He was just in not a good spot
for sure. I mean, you put all when you say you put all your
put him
ducks in
together
one deal.
I put him together with my brother and Chris from Chrome Cars to look at potentially investing in his company.
Pull that car up, Josh, if you want.
I introduced him to Yoel over at Fusion to potentially invest.
Yeah.
And everyone kept telling him the same thing. They're like, dude, you don't need anyone to invest. You just got to find your way through this time now.
Yeah, navigate.
TJ's a bad motherfucker because at your wedding, dude, he was right on the edge. He was struggling, man.
For sure.
He was fucking struggling. As good as he is and as great as his creation is, he was struggling, man. And now to see what's happened just since your wedding, it's like it's finally starting to hit for that dude. It's
when you make no plan B is when you make plan A work.
Agreed.
You know, and like the most talented and richest people, nor TJ or I are even there yet, and we might not ever, but
right.
You always got to like be all in, dude. And TJ's fucking all in. TJ's been like that since the day I met TJ, dude. That guy's got.
When did you meet him?
I mean, he's just been around because he came from Colorado, and he's older than I am, so he's a little generation older than me. But like, those are the guys that I would like kind of look up to with the dirt bike riding. And they're all just fucking so good on dirt bike. I mean, TJ's backflipping dirt bikes. So.
Doesn't he have the lowest backflip record?
He has the lowest backflip record.
Like the helmet scraped on the ground.
Which is, he's also one of the lowest humans I know.
So
that's probably why that works.
He's got the help of being fucking short.
Yeah.
Sorry, TJ.
But that's why he's good at everything, because he's fucking a part jockey,
Yeah.
TJ's good at
Super
everything.
Athlete. I believe it. He seems like that kind of dude.
Yeah.
Did you pull up the Baja 911?
Yeah, dude.
Just since we're talking
so
about
like TJ built all the tubs for Singer.
Right.
And then that was that connection with Porsche. And then like, I don't want to, you need to have him on the podcast to tell his story, but
totally need to have him on.
Because I lived with TJ for like 5 years.
The reason I brought him
we
up
lived
though was
together.
that
I didn't know
So
that.
trust me, dude. Him and I, we went
God,
to we went through
imagine.
Hollywood in his rat rod togetger, single. Like,
Come
we
on.
had times, dude.
You guys drove the Plymouth out there when you were both single?
I almost got hit by that.
We have done. I don't even remember how.
Yeah, this
we
is
have
it.
done at least 120 miles on the 5 freeway, and that
this
thing
is
comes
such
back.
a legendary
good.
car, dude.
So that's like a perfect combination of like the most elite off-road car and a Porsche put
combined.
together,
Yeah.
dude.
Didn't the Daily Driven guys buy that car from him? Or something?
I don't know like the big details on like who bought it and what he's really.
I
going
know
on
it
with
was
that,
something,
but-
and he sold it for a fraction of what he was into it for because he was. I mean,
The
that's
problem
the beauty,
with-
dude.
yeah.
You know what? That's the fucking
Off-road
my
stuff,
favorite
man.
part. My
Off-road
favorite
stuff.
part about a business
Look at
is
that thing, dude.
people have
Not
their
that one.
people
That's
have
not
their
it.
Not that
glamorous
one.
version
Or
of
that.
what risk is about.
That's
But like fucking real risk, when you're like that, when you got a kid on the way, you got a wife, they're expecting things from you, and you're on the edge of total and complete failure, and then you pull it out, fucking badass.
You're
man.
backed into the ropes, dude.
Yeah.
The
You're backed into
best.
the ropes
It's
is
the
when you fight your
fucking
hardest.
best, dude.
That's for sure.
It's the best.
Good for him. He's fucking killing it. I talk to him quite often, and we're both business owners. We both are in kind of the same realm of building cars, and it's always gonna be tough.
Yeah.
Like we're not,
Yeah.
just so everyone knows, like we're all not like making just like
No.
crazy
Not
millions,
all. Yeah.
Like we work really hard, and we.
I mean, not like we are with our YouTube channel where we're
Yeah,
just, I've got a whole warehouse full of cars.
we definitely
that are
do
mine.
it because we
People
fucking
are gonna
love
believe you for saying that, bro.
it.
The reason I brought him up though was because he told me that was like the most taxing thing that he's ever done his entire life.
Yeah.
That like that build was like,
Yeah.
that's like if I ask him what's the craziest build you've ever done, he's saying that first car. Like, what is that for you? What is your like? Because I know you did the Power Wagon. That was a full build for you. That I mean, the last time we did the live, remember you showed me the little clip when you guys were going to do the TV show.
Yeah.
At the end of it, the Power Wagon pulls
Yeah.
in, and you were like really young in that video, and you just finished that car, like 10, 11-year build,
Yeah.
right? So would you consider that one the most extensive build, or?
The fact that nothing really comes to my mind right now is like almost like maybe I haven't built it yet.
Right.
Maybe you haven't. Like RJ Fab did that Willys. Like that's his craziest build.
Yeah.
Right. Like what?
I don't know. I don't
I
know
don't
if that
think
is
you
or
have
not.
yet, actually. I don't think you
Eric's.
have yet.
I think Eric, like your brother's build I'm doing right now is like I'm in touching everything, And like a lot of times I get like things that are like already kind of built, and then I like make them better, or they're
Fix
just
them.
kind of like already been.
And you're doing
fucked
this.
a little
You're
bit,
not doing like an RS or any other chassis, right? You're keeping stock, but then you're
so adamant. And I know you've probably heard me talk about this. Is like I'm so adamant about not doing a chassis swap because I'm like,
you're probably modifying the chassis. I would imagine.
I'm doing it the hard way, 100%.
Yeah.
And like this new chassis swap thing is like it's great, and like I still will do it and have done it.
Yeah,
it makes things a lot easier, especially in the budget, and like get the drivability and like maybe the guys that aren't so raw with like vehicles and having like a carbureted vehicle or just like.
Well, you got a lot of engineering in it. Let's be honest. I mean, I know the Roadster
it's
Shop guys personally.
To me, it's the easy way out, but. I'm just like an old soul,
So funny, dude. You're the best.
So like, I'll do it the hard way just to be like, I did it the fucking hard way. Fuck you, you know. Yeah. But a lot of people are like, why don't you just do a chassis swap on the Blazer?
Way,
I'm like, wow. So it looks like every other Blazer that went down the block.
I'm the same fucking way, dude. Yeah. You know what? You know what? You and I are. You know what we're cursed with? Don't give me the Ferrari. I want to earn the Ferrari. Yeah. If I can't earn it, I don't fucking want it. With that said, I'm getting some ice and another cocktail because that tequila feels good.
I mean, shit. If anyone wants to give me a Ferrari, I will take one.
Yeah, I'll take it.
Yeah, I'll take one for sure.
I don't know. I'm doing this. Like, I want to make the original chassis as most badass as I could. Like, I'm still all about like.
What are you doing to like reinforce? What are you doing though to make it better than what it?
I mean, I definitely like fix geometry so it handles better.
So you're chopping it up and rewelding, like you're kind of making your own chassis in a way, starting with the stock
with their
one.
platform. But I also like to keep like whatever suspension came on it is I want to keep it that way. So like if it came leaf sprung, I'm keeping it leaf sprung. But I'm gonna make it the best leaf sprung vehicle as I could. Yeah, I can coil over this deal. I coil over thousands of things,
Wait. Sorry. Let me get back in here.
Did you hear leaf springs?
Lock in, right? I got to lock in. Are you leaving Eric's truck leaf sprung?
Oh, yeah.
You are?
And I guarantee when you drive that thing, you're going to be like, holy shit, this is probably one of the best handling, smoothest trucks I've ever done.
I've experienced some cars without chassis that like you would think it has a chassis. If that guy told you this is on a Roadster Shop chassis, you'd be like, oh, it feels so good. Yeah. But it's stock.
But so, and this, you know me, dude, I'm not mechanical. So legit question because I know my brother, he's going to drive the piss out of that thing. He's going to go find the breaking point. He's going to find the breaking point. You think you can get a leaf sprung rear to perform at the level of modern day 4-link, 5-link, 3-link, whatever. You like that? You tracking me there? But no, you know what I mean. Yeah. Just the idea of everything available is available, or everything you want's available.
There's limitations to leaf springs for sure.
So why? What's the? And I'm not giving you shit. It's more the curious question. I love this question
because people always ask me why. One, we're building a hot rod. I'm not building a truck that's going to go in the desert and like. Rock
so it's
crawl.
not made to go fucking hit whoops and stuff.
I don't need to have a 4-link or a 3-link. You don't need that. These people just go, I have a 4-link and I have 3-link. Like, cool. But like, I'm building kind of a hot rod, like more of a nostalgic feel.
So it's not meant to go like it's not. You guys aren't going to run out to the desert and pound on it. I'm not going to
say that because that's definitely not. That's the one.
Because I just know you guys. You will.
It's the one opposite thing that I always tell people is like whatever I build for sure. Will take the abuse. If it looks pretty, like I promise you, I bump that thing properly, I droop that thing properly, all the steering clears, the tires at full lock, at full bump, don't rub. Yeah. Like we did it. And one good explanation is Jamie's Power Wagon that I built.
Yep.
That's probably up there at one of my top.
I was gonna say that's a fucking good one.
That thing is so fucking cool.
Yeah.
And it's just straight axled, leaf sprung. Triple bypass shocks, hydraulic bumps.
He wanted
you
that
look in the wheel
right?
well and you're like, there's just a lot of moving objects, but it's still leaf springs.
Yeah.
And to this day, you can ask Jamie, and Jamie's driven many things, and I've driven many things.
For sure.
He goes, dude, he calls me all the time. He's like, Steven, I drive this truck every day. He's like, this thing fucking drives 80 miles an hour down the freeway. I go over bumps. It's just plush. I go take it out in the dirt. And I'm like, that truck, you can't tell, but like those wheel wells, it's a swept side.
Did we shoot
62 Dodge.
No? We didn't, right?
What's that?
You haven't shot it yet.
We haven't shot it.
You haven't shot it yet.
We never shot it. That's right.
We're going to shoot it.
But he'll probably want you to do it. He doesn't like being in the videos.
Yeah, I probably should
fucking
do it.
love Jamie.
Can you pull up
British,
Instagram shit?
British, man.
Just look up 20 screws on Instagram, and if you go to the Google,
This truck is by far
As long
me
as you're
in a
on
nutshell, and this is why I like the nostalgic feel of this.
Yeah.
Because, like I said with the Blazer, like the Blazer's
20
still a hot
screws
rod,
on
and
Instagram.
yes, it will go take a beating. I'm not saying it can't.
Yeah.
And I'm not gonna cut corners and just be like, oh, it looks good, it's leaf spring, it handles and steers good. But if I were to like hit something hard, that thing will do it. You know?
Really?
Oh yeah, for sure.
It's so good.
Yeah,
It's so.
Yeah, this thing
oh
went
yeah,
to-
there it is. The top left.
That's it. Right
Look at that truck.
It's what color
It's
is that?
so
Destroyer
good.
gray, Dodge Destroyer gray.
I think that was a Audi gray color.
Oh.
Like the Nardo
No,
gray or something like
it's
that.
Jamie. He did Destroyer. I know I remember him saying that.
Yeah, that's
That truck came from Canada, I believe.
Yep,
And it was already
yep.
converted to a 12 valve. But like, God, dude, like that truck.
It's so
Steven,
good,
you
man.
did really good on this
Dude,
one.
like all that scroll back one. Like, look at the heater covers. Like, super looks like the door panel. There's the factory door panel bead roll.
Yep.
And then you look at like the heater cover and
that's
the
you
AC.
guys.
And then if you like look at the vents, I handmade and formed all those vents out of aluminum and made it look like
The door
dash.
panel. Yeah.
And I
Yeah.
made it look
Yeah.
like that era if
Yeah.
it had AC vents because the dash had no room to put stuff.
Now you killed it on that truck, and didn't he bring? If I remember correctly, didn't Jamie bring it over just for you to change the front and rear diffs?
Yeah, we were just putting axles in it and it turned
Yeah.
into like $250K. But dude, look at the shock hoops and like, so that on
I
the,
wish you wouldn't have ever finished it because we don't ever fucking see him anymore. But we used to
know.
see him all the time when you were working on it.
I know I miss Jamie. He doesn't really come
I
around
miss
too much.
Jamie a lot,
I do, too.
man.
He's
Once
just
in
a
a
big
while,
British
we see
guy.
him.
He's just funny. He gets all stoned.
You know why he's 20
the
screws,
best, isn't
right?
he?
Yeah, I know.
He's got fucking 20 screws in him, bro.
Yeah.
He makes everybody know that.
He's the best, though.
Well, let's shoot that and we'll give good details on that truck because
Yeah.
that deserves.
But Jamie
that's one of
said-
the coolest Dodges on the planet. The fucking
Jamie
planet.
said, I
right
agree.
there.
No, hands down.
Jamie's
I agree.
in Joshua.
And
Tree.
I just
Jamie
happened to be lucky
Jamie
enough
said
to
we
build
can't.
it, but-
Jamie said we can't shoot it unless we come out to Joshua Tree.
That's fine. No,
Okay,
I would like to
I
do
am
that.
down.
So let's plan. You
I
know
am
what we should
so
do?
I've been
down to
telling
do
you to
that.
shoot shit
Let's-
other than
let's
right
stay
here.
at
Wait,
his
I got one of these, and I never do this. I'm slamming that shit down to make my point. My old band used to gig up
I
at
know.
Pappy and Harriet's
Yep,
on a
I've been
regular
there.
basis. Pappy's was like a stomping grounds for us. And Jamie lives right above Pappy's. You know, he lives right up in the hills.
Is that like bar desert?
Pioneer
like,
Town.
Pioneer Town, yeah.
Pioneer
Yep.
Town?
They have
He
raves
lives-
and stuff there too. I've been
Dude, it fucking goes.
pretty. Yeah, it goes off.
off
You used
there.
to play there?
You ever been to Joshua?
We used to play
Josh?
Pappy and Harriet's
Josh
4 or
and
5
Joshua
times a
Tree.
year.
That would be sick.
And we go out and spend the whole weekend out there. But so I'm serious about this, dude.
Let's do this.
Not only we don't go out
Jamie
there.
doesn't know yet, but we're
we
doing
don't
it.
go out there for the day though. This is a weekend trip.
Fine with me.
There might be
But I guarantee
desert elements
you
involved.
You should shoot immediately because Jamie will get you into trouble.
You should call him right now and be like, Jamie,
No,
you're
we'll
on the
shoot, we'll get
podcast.
out
We're
there and
putting you on the
shoot, and then
spot."
we'll do the stupid shit with Jamie.
Yeah.
Because I know between the two of you, holy cow,
If you add me into
stupid
it, it's bad. I'm down for whatever.
That'd be
Jamie's-
fucking
Nobody
awesome,
cares.
though,
Jamie's-
man.
Nobody cares.
One of the best customers I've ever had. And you know what? All my customers, just goes to show you business wise. Just goes to show you business wise. I mean, I've
You all right there, buddy?
very rarely have I not become really good friends with my clients.
Mike.
You know, like I built a car for him,
Yeah.
and like now, like we're just homies.
Is he
Yeah.
a random?
A lot of times, people build their cars and they're like, "Fuck."
Nah,
this place.
Jamie's not a rando. He was
No, I'm
always
saying
with-
like for you, did you know him prior or not?
I mean, not on a level where like he would spend hundreds of $1,000s of me. You know, like
Jamie was always over here because he's a production designer, legendary production
knows what he's
designer, and he
looking
works
at,
with
like,
Dennis
yeah.
all the time for like commercial sets and stuff that he does.
he has an artistic
like
view.
if he needs to tweak
Yeah,
on
yeah,
that
he
thing,
does.
he
And
can.
that dude, you know, designs and makes things for movies. And like when he sees something, he knows it's good or if it's bad.
Yeah.
There's a lot of people. I mean, I can tell you, and I love social media, but I also hate social media almost more than I love it because it just makes things that are so terrible look good.
Like Josh's
Yeah.
car, yeah.
And
Instagram build. It looks great on
a
Instagram.
lot of things, like women and cars, are probably the most deceiving things on Instagram
Yeah.
that you could possibly ever see.
100%. I 100% agree.
Or
with you.
just people in general that say they're influencers, but it's all bullshit. Like I don't believe
Yeah.
one part of it.
The cool part about it is too, though. I'll play the flip
There's
side
so many
I'm,
good
I'm,
things about
I'm
it.
actually pretty obsessed with social media, even at my age, because
Because you didn't have it back then.
We didn't have it. We didn't
Or
have
a
it back
phone,
then.
cell phone at that point.
Hey, go fuck yourself, all right? I mean, like,
Look at the stars.
God damn, Chris.
Chris, these guys use the compass to get
Dude,
around.
you ever seen
Yeah, like what do
you
they
ever
call it?
seen Wall Street?
They would
You
lick
ever
the
seen
finger.
Wall Street with the big huge phone and the
Yeah.
antenna and stuff?
The
Yeah,
suitcase,
Chris was
the
a baller.
suitcase
He
phone.
had fucking A. Chris had that.
Chris, I've seen pictures, I think, of Chris back in the day, and he looked like a fucking badass.
All I gotta
Chris was a
offer up
badass.
is one for you and one for you. Go fuck yourself.
Lewis and Clark, bro.
Sacagawea.
That's right. While you're sitting there going, I can't get anywhere
Actually,
because
it's
my
funny, it's
phone's
Lewis
not
and
working.
Clark, and
Chris
that-
and I will
that's
find our way
Sacagawea
home,
right there.
right?
What was that?
I said, while these two
He also
numbnuts
can't
are
hear.
going like, oh, I can't find my way because there's no GPS. I have no signal right now. You and I will find our way home.
You're gonna look up at the.
Dude, the other day
You fucking find the
What
North
was the
Star,
old
man.
maps that you guys had
Thomas
to follow?
Guide.
Thomas Guides.
Yeah, Thomas Guide, dude.
Bro, I was a
Oh my
motorcycle
God.
messenger. I like Thomas was my pal.
Dude,
the-
my dad still prints
Thomas
out like
Jefferson?
MapQuest fucking. You know?
MapQuest routed
Yeah,
out with
MapQuest.
stops along the way. I did that.
No, he said Thomas was your
Actually,
best pal. I said Thomas Jefferson.
Tell me you didn't. You're such a fucking asshole. I swear, this guy really is a beaner.
Oh my God, yo.
Chris, tell me you didn't ever go to AAA and route out where you're going and they print it all out for you with the stops and stuff?
Never a AAA member, but I always.
Oh,
thought
that's
I
your first
could,
mistake?
a map
I love
of
AAA.
California or the cities I was going into.
Right?
On the Thomas Guide, I would paperclip my route, so I wouldn't have to thumb through pages as I'm driving.
Yeah, we would yellow.
this
We
guy
would
the
yellow
mic, bro.
sticky. We would yellow sticky
Yeah, why
R's.
isn't Chris
Go
sitting
from
here
this
with us?
page over to this page.
Chris is one of my favorite guys ever.
Chris is my favorite guy, too.
Are you
I
destroying
fucking
our
love this
microphone
dude.
already?
Yeah.
Or are you tearing it apart and trying
Yeah,
to
why
make
don't
it
you
better?
refabricate that then? Actually, Steven helped us the other day, and so in the F100 video that will probably be live by the time this
Where
is
we
up,
grenaded our.
we destroyed our mic, and so we had to get a new one, and we walked over to Steven.
By the way, have you seen the edit yet?
I haven't yet. No, is it
Dude,
good?
it's funny as fuck. The homage. Have you seen it yet?
I haven't
You
been
haven't
able
seen
to
it
open
either.
it, yeah.
Dude, the homage that K2 paid to the destruction of our sound
Did he
recording.
do a rest in peace to the microphone?
I can't wait for you guys to.
God, I gotta watch this, dude.
I
It's
love that
so
shit.
good. I mean, it takes
I
like,
caught it on camera too,
like
so I had the camera
a
rolling.
2-second
and we had
clip
the mic.
lasts about a solid 45 seconds or so, maybe even a full minute it might get.
It's funny because I asked Josh too. I'm like, hey, how do you determine where to put the mic? He's like, watch this, I got you. And he fucking puts it under the car, and I'm like, okay, cool. Josh knows what he's talking about. We're driving along the road. I'm recording the truck, and all of a sudden we go over a dip.
Wait a minute.
Explosion.
First of all,
Our-
this truck lays frame, okay, and there's nowhere
For
else
sure.
to put this mic, so I had
For
to put
sure
it
it
on the
does.
frame.
Yeah.
And
it
Jason
was
wanted to
like-
make sure it was as low as the ride height could possibly be to make it look
Come,
fucking
Kyle. I'll show
gangster.
you where to put the mic, bro. This is how you
told
determine.
him. I told him, I was like, hey, bro, do me a favor. I was like, this mic is like this far off the ground. I was like, don't lay out because you're gonna crush my mic.
First
all
10
right?
minutes.
So we're driving.
No, we didn't lay out.
We're driving for like
but we were
30
low.
minutes. Driving for like 30 minutes, and we're doing our normal stuff. And I look up and I see it just getting torn up by the tires shooting up all these like rocks and everything. And I point it out. I'm like to everyone, I'm like, hey, dude, my poor mic is getting all torn up. Right when I say that, boom.
all cut on video.
Yeah.
How about
I mean,
the
our-
heroic U-turn I made.
how
Dude,
you get thrown out the
our
car.
forward-facing camera in the truck in slow motion captures it in such grand view. You see the multiple flips as pieces of it are just get disintegrated. It's fucking awesome, man.
But yeah, thank you again for
thank you.
fabbing up shaving down the mic and getting
It was
to
the
fit.
most satisfying thing to watch too. So like basically the connector for the mic and then the actual mic itself wasn't.
I
plugged
saw
in.
it where you put the thing in the hole.
Yeah, it was too big for the hole, so it wasn't fitting.
Probably the first time.
So Steven did a little circumcision
Kyle was
on
like,
it.
"This is so fucking satisfying to be too big right now."
See, no one appreciated my joke, but that's okay.
Yeah, they're bad, bro.
He did a
Don't worry.
little shave.
It just wasn't that
surgery circumcision on the mic and
Yeah.
shaved it down, and now it fits.
What,
Hopped on
so
the
now we're
lathe.
going with Jew jokes right now? Is that where
I'm
we're going?
circumcised. I'm not a Jew.
Where do you think it fucking started,
Prove it.
homie?
Fuck. Prove it.
The rabbi went in and said a bunch of words. And
I didn't
No, I know
what
some
we were
of them.
getting into
Next.
today.
Yeah, give me a good Hebrew word.
dude, the only part I know is some of the prayers
Schnitzel?
like Baruch atah
Shalom.
Adonai Eloheinu.
Do you guys say schnitzel? What do you say for a little wiener?
Schnitzel, that's German, my friend.
Oh yeah, that's okay. Let's change
Idiot,
this
bro.
up.
Idiot.
But I ate schnitzel when I was in Germany last summer.
I'm sure you ate
Didn't
lots
we?
of schnitzel.
we do.
You're such a
You
cunt.
love Snitchel, bro.
I like how you mispronounce it too. It's really good. Schnitzel.
Snitchel.
There you
whatever.
go. Yeah. I don't know what the point of the fucking. Oh yeah,
There's the
okay.
mic.
And you know
Steven-
what makes that mic better, by the way? When he showed up, I fucking played forever, right? I was a working musician forever. He shows up with an SM57, which is the go-to bike since, God, like the 60s or something. You want to mic an amp? Put a 57 on it. You want to mic a drum? Put a 57 on it. Like it is the go-to.
Was it 57 or 75?
I'm learning right now.
57.
This is me learning.
Trust me, brother. I've seen these things my whole
Well,
fucking
even
life.
these headphones, no? Like Sony headphones have been fucking, like these exact ones.
Why do you think we have these? Every studio I've ever recorded in my entire life. This.
Yeah.
Hundreds of years.
Yeah. Shakespeare was still around.
I know nothing about electronics or technology. Really.
Isn't that
at all.
funny that like you can't even fathom what we do, but I can't fathom what you do?
Like if
Like,
you
I'll
guys
never be
showed me
able to-
half of this, I would think this looks terrible to me.
Yeah.
No, it is terrible.
You don't like the beautiful organization of our
This
our
looks like a lot of
cables
cars
going
I get in
everywhere?
the shop, and I'm like, oh fuck.
Would you how would you change this?
Sure.
Would you fuck with this? Like how could you change this?
I mean, I'd probably zip tie a couple things a little nicer for
Yeah.
sure, But
You know what's funny
have
though,
something
dude? It's
going
out.
on here, but I don't even want to.
It's out. It's for me. Like I've hung out with creative people my whole life. So where do I end up with more creative people in a different format of creativity? Right, like more of the what's referred to as the arch. But what you guys do, like when we were up with RJ recently, and I've seen it with your welds as well. There's TJ's welds for sure. There's because not everyone does that. Like there's plenty of welds that are structurally sound. I'm sure.
Yeah.
You just don't necessarily want to look at them. They're not boogery, but they're not like those. You guys lay those fucking. I know you guys call them dimes. I don't know why you do because it's way bigger than it's way smaller than a fucking dime is ever going to be.
Yeah, weld bead.
I mean, those tiny little, but the perfection of it, the artistry that goes into it. You're like, that took a long time to figure out how to fucking do that. Structurally sound, but make it look like. Yeah, no sanding's needed. You don't need to grind anything.
Actually,
This
putting
is-
paint
this-
over it really hurts.
For sure it does.
Hurts, yeah.
I think there's a hashtag called weld porn, and
Yeah.
basically what it means is like it's just fucking
My wife's been on that, but her clothes were on.
on weld porn.
On weld porn, yeah,
Yeah,
dude. Back
see?
in the day when we
It's a-
first met, I teach her how to weld in like 5 minutes, dude. And she laid down such a clean bead. And I was like,
Really?
yeah, I was like, holy fuck, that's good.
Really?
So I sent it to weld porn, and I was like, boom, they posted it. I was like,
Wow.
dude, I'm not even on weld porn. But no, I mean,
But there's something really.
I
That
would
to it.
say-
motorcycle out there has weld porn.
I would
right
definitely
there.
say in the off-road community, our level of welding and like chassis stuff is pretty fucking
I agree.
badass.
Do you think welding will ever be
I
taken
agree.
over by a computer?
No. Well, it already is, but
Yeah, I was gonna say sorry.
AI is
Yeah,
crazy. I don't even want to think about that shit, but
I think there's irreplaceable
welding-
elements, though. I think there's a lot of stuff. I think AI. Well, it's already doing, and it'll continue to. I mean, look at the
I mean, dude,
robotics running
ChatGPT is my
factories.
best friend.
yeah.
I understand that, but I think there's. Maybe I'm old.
Hands-on people
just
are
shut
always
the
going
fuck
to
up.
be successful.
Just shut up on that one because I am old, right? So, but I think there's a human element. Maybe it's just hopeful thinking, honestly. But I think there's a human element to things in life that I don't know that it's replaceable by programming of any
not.
sort.
It's not.
'Cause
I think it'll be a good
because
tool,
your
but not a
programming.
replacement.
Your programming changes along the way. You could be in the middle of something and you have to shift. You have to make a change. Where I think there's, I don't know. Maybe I'm
in
too
a-
passionate about the art form, but I think any form of artistry, welding.
Yeah.
I don't think it's replaceable.
But welding is the
man.
easiest part. Like welding is the fucking easiest part. It's the building part. It's the vision part. It's the like thinking 20 steps ahead.
For sure.
The
I
welding
hear you.
is the easiest part. We're just really good at it. But
it's the easiest
Dude,
part.
I can teach you
after
how to
doing
weld.
it for 20 fucking years, dude.
not necessarily, but I mean, yeah, it takes a little bit of time because it's like knowing what types of things to do. But like the actual physical welding part, all of you guys can do it. I mean, you guys can all be welders in like 4 months. No, I promise you. I can teach a monkey
I'm
to do
sorry,
that
I'm
shit.
laughing. I think of me and this numbnuts right here.
I'm not welding shit, bro.
Bro, I mean, how proud are we when we fucking successfully change a battery in a car?
Washing our hands,
throwing shit, right?
I think we just came up with like another episode right now. It's
teaching
like
us how to weld.
All of you guys,
dude,
how to weld at my
would
shop.
be kind of
Oh my
sick.
God.
Can SMP Fab teach us how to weld?
Yeah, who's
Chris
gonna
is
be
like,
the
I'm down,
best
bro. I
welder?
already
So
think
Chris,
you can
Chris
weld,
already
bro.
wins this one.
Yeah, you
Between the
won.
4 of us, Chris has got this one.
Chris can weld like a motherfucker. I
I'm
bet.
going to bet on the Mexican
Weld
next.
off. Weld off.
Yeah, I'm going on the Mexican next. He can weld.
They're good and very quick learners.
Yeah.
I got to say, the last one that's going to, because as a Jew, what you're taught as a young kid is
Save money.
You don't do, no. Quite the opposite. Yes, you do in certain realms. You're such a fucking
Yeah,
armor
but they
loser.
all, like, I feel like they all do their own stuff too.
No. Well, yes,
Hardworking
sure.
people.
But like in biblical times. But ever since then, it was like, so what we need to do is build a position of power and wealth in life. And then what you do is you hire people to do shit that you're just not interested or you're not good at.
Yeah.
See, Kyle's just
You
going to
just do
sell
it.
your welding gear, bro.
Yeah.
Why would I do that?
Because you're a scammer.
Nah, he's gonna call an insurance claim of some sort on it.
That's
man.
you know what, guys. That's fine.
But you know what you want to know?
Truth fucking hurts sometimes.
Yeah, sometimes
doesn't
it does. Yeah.
The biggest difference is someone that can build something.
I agree, dude.
That is the most,
I agree.
I would say, like, if I can find employees, which is very difficult in general, to just even have common sense, but
Yeah.
and they're out there, but they usually have their own business
Yeah.
or like they're just doing their own thing. But a lot of times, building something is just unteachable. Like you could teach.
Yeah.
You have to
some
have it
things,
in you, basically.
but you got to have
Yeah.
it in you, and
Yep.
like you got to already see it, and you already got to feel it, and it's just like that's the difference between probably me and a lot of other people. Like,
Yeah.
I mean, there's like it's just like a sport, dude. There's people that are high school, there's people that are college, there's people that
Yeah.
are
Pro,
AAA,
yeah,
and there's
yeah.
people that are pro, and
Yeah.
like
Right.
I feel like I'm on that cusp of like I'm definitely a professional builder.
Yep.
I have so much to learn and so
Yeah.
much more things that
Yeah.
I feel like I've skipped or don't get enough because I own a business, and it
Yeah.
holds me back of my creativity. And I think maybe a lot of my, like, I have better skills that are deep down in there that I know I have,
I still think I'm still looking forward to seeing you build what'll be your swan song vehicle.
Yeah.
Call
Yeah.
it. Like
hopefully it's one
like
for myself,
RJ.
but probably never will
What would
be.
you do?
No, but I know. But I'm saying like Rob and RJ so well.
I have a style
He's built
to my own
a lot
stuff,
of
though.
he's
You
built
do.
a lot of great vehicles along the way. But that fucking Willys was his opportunity. The right owner at
Dude,
the right
Rob's
time.
got stuff cooking that shit, dude.
He's crazy. I think
Rob.
he's the
But
best.
you also
He's my
got to
favorite.
remember, like, I've only gotten as far as I have now because my clients have allowed me to do it.
Yeah.
For sure, dude.
Like, yeah,
For sure.
I've done builds and I've made no money, and just because I was like, I need the opportunity because I need to prove these people
you
that
can
that
do.
I can fucking
Yeah.
do it.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
I did that
Yeah.
for a long time.
Right. Like
And
charging a
sometimes-
fraction of what you
And
could.
sometimes I still do it because I want that job, and
Yeah.
I want the push and I want the challenge.
Yeah.
So like but realistically, at the end of the day, when you own a business, I hope the Jamie walks in and goes, dude, I want you to build my power wagon. I'm like, oh my God, thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because I can't do it on my dime. I got to do it on someone else's dime. And then it just allows me to show my
Well, that's
skills.
what happened with Rob and the Willies.
That's what
right?
I mean with
Yeah.
Rob
So,
and the art.
whoever's in, there's probably just like dirt bike riders or anybody, musicians that are just connected with the right people, because there's probably somebody better than Led Zeppelin, and it's like they just, who you met on the way.
I don't know
got
about
you
that,
there.
actually. I don't know about that.
I believe there's people that are so talented out there that it's in there
Nah,
that
dude,
doesn't
for
ever
sure.
get seen in
For
any
sure.
kind of thing
For sure.
ever in the world. And you could see how much everything's evolved. I mean, dudes are doing
sure.
double backflips and front flips on dirt bikes. I'm like, dude, 10 years ago, a front flip was like, there's
Yeah.
no way.
Well, look at all these guys with
Now
TV
my
shows,
mind is
like-
like, you know what? Anything is possible.
Bro, Orange County
Agreed.
Choppers, Gas
Totally
Monkey
agree.
Garage. These are all
Yeah.
TV shows that
Yeah.
these guys are famous. They're rich.
Yeah.
They're ballers. But TJ's better. You're better. You're
Yeah.
like these. There's way more talented
I
people
mean,
that
they-
don't
they
get the
get-
opportunity to.
That's another thing. The TV stuff
different
is
business.
just
It's a
like,
different business
different
for sure.
business.
Yeah.
Like, and I almost went that route, and I'm glad I didn't. And I
am too.
But I also wanted to go that route to like not be that, to show, hey, there's real shit, you know?
You wouldn't have a
But
TV
it didn't
show
work,
then.
you know.
And I'm not saying that
they don't want real shit.
Well, that's what I was just going to say.
Jesse James is like a pioneer of that shit. He's real.
Strope had a TV show for one. Did he get 2 seasons or just one?
Maybe 2.
Yeah. Maybe 2.
They don't want it. The real shit is boring, dude.
There was no yelling and screaming.
Yeah,
there was a lot of thank yous and great job and stuff like that. And it was shooting for
that's
shit
why I
over
hate
a year
shit like
before.
that, 'cause it's
yeah.
bullshit.
Well, that's why YouTube comes
yeah.
into play, because people on YouTube watch
Like
the
the
real
birdies.
shit.
The
Totally
birdies
agree.
are awesome.
The birdies.
The Birdie family is
Yep.
awesome, and they're real builders and taunted, and like they're doing their
But look
thing.
what happened. They only had a
I
TV
know.
show for a while and it went away.
People love bullshit.
Unfortunately, I fucking hate to
I
admit
hate
it, man.
Jesse James does good shit though.
Hell yeah, dude! Jesse James is forging things.
Dude, I can't
He's
wait.
like,
I can't wait till you
if
talk
I
to
can
Jimmy
soak
about
up
his
half
days
of
there.
that.
Do you know Jimmy
Shine?
over at Leno's?
Oh, that Jimmy.
Like one of his mechanic guys.
Jimmy's a fabricator.
Yeah.
Jimmy's truly a fucking legend, dude. I mean, he worked for Boyd for a bunch of time. He was Boyd's main
I remember
fabricator,
watching
metal
those
guy,
shows too.
right?
Yeah.
He worked for
Chip
Jesse
Foose.
James. He worked for Jesse James, and what he told me this super cool. Anyway, whatever. Jimmy's just one of those old school. He's in my age group, 54, 55. I'm making myself a little younger today. I worked out good this morning. But he's one of those guys, you know, where like where you'll be in 20 years, predictably, you know, with your commitment, your passion towards it.
Yeah.
That's where that guy's at, you know, and just because you guys brought up Jesse James, it was funny. He said when he was working there, Jesse challenged him to build some story about he challenged him to build a tank where he couldn't see any seams, and it was like a 4-piece tank or something like that. And he pulled him out. He's like, "Find a fucking seam on this thing.
Yeah.
I'm going home." Like just walked out the fucking door. Like
Dude,
find a
I
fucking seam.
want to learn to metal shape so bad. And I've just been kind of learning on my own and buying some tools and just like literally, I mean, YouTube is like your biggest friend. YouTube University, you know?
That's how I learned all the video stuff.
Yeah.
Brilliant.
So it's crazy because that wasn't there when I started, you know, the YouTube stuff. And this is actually one big thing that I wanted to really emphasize on is like, you two and maybe Kyle. How old are you?
26.
Yeah, maybe not. Maybe only my era is literally I had no social media and I have social media.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
Like in the cusp of like the young generation.
Yeah.
Where like we use it, you know? Like
It's a
where
great-
like
it's a great fucking
it's a
tool.
big thing for us, you know?
It's a great tool.
I
dude.
had an analog phone, a flip phone, you know? And in like 8 years I had social media.
Yeah.
And I lived without it and with it in the same prime of my life.
Right.
Which is what I'm trying to
Right.
explain. Like
See,
the
I-
prime
for
of my
sure.
life.
For
You're
sure.
like, you know,
For
like
sure.
it's like
You've
my
had it
dad
longer
and
than
my
my
mom.
mom.
Don't
Here's the
fucking
thing,
tell me.
sorry.
I know you're about to hit
They
me on
had
how
it
I'm
when they're,
past
like,
my
born.
prime.
Well, hold on. I got it when I was like
you heard that
14,
coming,
bro.
right?
So when I still got to grow up like
he
a
can fuck
regular.
himself, right? While they're talking.
We got to grow up like regular kids, ride our bike, go out on the street.
Yeah.
But then 14, 15, we were like, okay, Instagram is coming out.
Yeah.
know
Yeah,
what
I didn't
mean?
get
So-
it till I was like 17.
But he was already you were 20, right?
Yeah, I
You
was-
prime. When you're saying prime, meaning like you
Like
had to go to the
high
club to
school
get
to,
girls.
like,
you know what
yeah.
I mean?
Oh, yeah.
Like we have to DM girls, bro, and you look like a fucking
I had
creep. and,
AOL.
like,
You know, AOL.
what is that?
I couldn't even tell you. MySpace, dude. MySpace. You know, that was
Dude,
like
my
the
first computer in like, it's like
1605?
99 or somewhere around there. Cause I was late to the fucking curve of computers. Cause I know you had one way before then. You were whipping out floppy
I saw
disks.
My niece.
You were
pull
pulling
up
out floppy disks,
Microsoft,
right?
You know, backslash Microsoft.
Floppies, right? Floppies and shit.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I go
So I
back
get my
to
first
2
computer and I'm
inch
like, fuck yeah, I get to go online, dude. So AOL was where you go.
Is that your Google? Is that your search engine?
Such a loser. It's a whole
Don't worry, I don't know how to run a computer either, and I'm fucking 35.
it was a whole
I
we'll call it an
manage everything.
ecosystem. It was an ecosystem to keep you inside of it. Kind of like what modern day social media has become, where algorithms steer you towards
I
what
hate it,
they
by
think
the
you
way. I
already
hate it.
want,
Bro, so
hate
it's a
it.
search engine.
Okay.
Is it? Is that not what it is?
I go to
Google.
It was an ecosystem. You stayed inside
This guy's coming up with words.
You lived under
Well,
the.
no. But I mean, in the sense that you stayed inside the ecosystem because everything you searched was in the AOL world. All your email was in the AOL world. All your music. I mean, this is before there was such a thing as fucking
LimeWire?
MP3s. Oh, this is way before MP3s, dude. I'm talking
well,
about
where are you
wave files where you go, dude, you got to hear this fucking song. I'll send it. Call me in a couple of days when you hear it because it's like fucking 12 and a half hours to send a fucking wave file. But I remember at the same time you had dial-up and then you had, what was it called again? What was that first service above dial-up, dude? Direct something. I can't think of the name of it. But you went from where you went from like it would take like 10 minutes for an email to send. You were like, holy fuck, dude. He just sent this 30 seconds ago and I've already got it.
So were you guys still like
crazy.
looking at magazines, or was there also stuff you could go on AOL?
Fuck yeah, you were looking at magazines.
So
dude.
AOL
That's all
This-
they have. By the way, that is another. I miss magazines so bad. I have
I
stacks
do
of
too.
magazines
I do too.
that were like,
man.
that's all I looked at as a kid.
I do too. The other big one, and I know you guys didn't grow up in this era, Chris and I, once again, will totally relate to this. Your favorite music, you didn't listen to singles. You didn't listen to song after song after
Album.
song from different artists to different artists. You sat down with Goodbye Yellow Brick Road and you turned it on and you fucking opened the album cover and you read along with the lyrics and you read every liner note in it, right? Like who produced it, who played on it, like
Yeah.
More information.
like it was
the
such
better.
a, it was, and I'm not knocking because I swear to God, today's just as experiential. Should you allow yourself the time? Unfortunately, I think your generation has grown up in a time where
You know what we do?
where
We
you give something a couple of seconds, and if it doesn't captivate your attention,
next.
you're gone.
Yep.
Where I grew up in an era where where we
Gotta put
we
the time
would
in a
give
little
it
bit.
some time to allow it to unfold, and as it did, the experience of sitting with, and I bring up Goodbye Yellow Brick Road, Elton John, because it's such an epic album and it's so listenable from top to bottom in every manner. But it's not if you only give it a few seconds of your time. You'd
Gotta put
never
in the
make
work
it.
a
You'd
little bit.
never make it to funeral for a friend, right? You
How
just
about the
wouldn't.
experience just shopping for albums? It was a
Right?
treat to go to Tower Records.
Fucking
on
A,
Sunset
right?
I feel like this
Boulevard.
almost
Right?
sounds like
was
how
a
it used to
thing
be to
do.
pick
It was
up on
like going
women.
to a night-
You guys had to do all this work. Kyle just goes on Tinder and
But I
probably
gotta be
pulls
honest with
right
you.
away. Look
I
at him.
don't. I don't like that though. I don't
No,
like
I-
having to DM. I'd rather meet you face to face.
For sure.
But like at a club, the
Yeah.
music's fucking banging.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
if you don't have a Rolex on or driving a Ferrari outside, you're not talking to
They
these
don't-
girls.
Well, that's
like-
just LA in general.
But you know what? It's just like
Isn't that the truth, man?
I don't know. It's just different. You know, I feel like these guys back
I
then.
think going forward, the only woman I'll date has to be from another country. I think that's where I stand now.
Are you gonna order her?
I went from
What is the term?
Are you gonna order her?
Amazon.
Costs a lot less fucking money than a fucking LA girl.
there's good-
Let's
there's-
be honest
There's a
about
term
it.
for it. It's called a passport bro.
Green card.
No, that's one way to look at it. A whole other way to look at it is called a modern day,
I will
form
look-
of partnership.
LA
I
is
know
a
what-
tough area.
Here's
for
the
that,
thing. I
dude.
know what Sean is saying because what
Chris is taking the fifth on this one. He's out,
No, he's saying I went for it. Britta's German.
right?
But I agree with what you're saying. These European girls are way cooler, bro. Way
Well, just
cooler.
like we're in this world. I mean, like you're lucky, dude. You actually
very
scored a woman because fucking Amanda rocks.
And it was right here in the town right next to me. Which is
Yeah.
very-
But like I can't even imagine.
You want to cut it?
I can't even imagine.
Or do you want to?
Oh, coming up on an hour 23 right now. So
Do you want to switch drives just to
I
be
would,
safe?
I would, yeah, prefer to just take a little break.
Steven,
Swap
let's
it.
All right,
take
let's
a
just
quick
take a quick
piss
break,
or whatever,
and then we'll come
and
back.
then we'll come back and wrap it in like 10 or so.
Yeah.
Sure. Yeah.
Yeah. All right, so we took a
much
second.
info
You know,
as
we
you
had to. We all had to have a pee. I had to refresh in my drink. Did you get a fresh Coors Light?
I
I
got it.
did. Yeah.
Yeah. So between the like 40 that you've already drank, it almost equals one of my cocktails.
Don't put it in perspective.
But I thought like two things I want to touch on before we wrap up the day of hanging out like this, Steven, is I know you got some more fucking crazy crash, injury, whoops stories.
Yeah, I have a lot of those.
And after that, if you can remember this in the long scope, or else I'll bring you back around. I want to know what your, but I want to hear these first because I know your fucking stories are good. But then also I want to hear if you had the client that just said, I don't care what it costs, I have a vision for a vehicle, and you have the same exact common vision. So you get to, it's almost like you're building something for yourself.
Yeah, for sure.
So those are the two places I want to land at, is a couple more of your crazy, fucked up, stupid stories you got. And then what's your version of like, man, if I could build anything with no budget whatsoever, here's what I want to do.
To start off with, probably that is one, I feel like I already kind of have that because one, I'm just a small speck on the scale of like car builders in this planet, right? And really just like this little area that we have. And this is like my little niche here.
Yeah.
But most people, actually almost all customers come to me because they kind of want to let me just do my thing. And they already like my style and they already like what I do in my vision. So barely ever.
But like you haven't had the client yet that said like unlimited budget, 1.5, 2.5, I don't care. Make it so.
So I don't want to like dull it down a little too much, but I'm just not a complicated builder. Like I don't need like that much money to build something that I think is just the fucking coolest thing.
But
like
you
I'm
don't,
an old school like feel like guy like.
I get it, dude. I know you.
You know, I don't need
to
CNC every part. I don't need to 3D print every part. Like that is, I'm opposite of that, dude.
But like how Rob has the Willies, right? I would say is a swan song car.
Sure.
Chris's car for Jason was a swan song car to build Vicious.
Yeah. I would say I'm a lot like Rob's mentality. And that's
do you have a picture of what you would build or
like
no?
Rob is a kind of a hot like a drag car kind of guy.
For sure.
That
for sure he
is in the off-road. You know, he rode motorcycles and kind of now he's building some off-road cars. And he's a great bridge. And this is a very crucial thing.
Agreed.
When you bridge the car world and the off-road world, like
totally
TJ, like myself, where like you bring fit and finish to like the off-road community. And there's a couple of people in the industry, Ryan Kibbe and
Kibbe Tech's doing it for sure.
And he kind of was like a realm of, he's a little older than me, so he's like a little ahead of the game. But I was always about like the little small details that like you can't see in a photo. You got to come see it in person.
Is there other guys? Sorry to interrupt, dude, but now I'm totally curious because everyone we've mentioned is top off-road guys are local builders.
We are, yeah. I mean,
Kibbe Tech, you,
Morgan is like
Rob, Morgan. Yep. We haven't even mentioned Morgan. Yeah. And my God, what a beast
super
Morgan
talented.
Is, right?
Yeah.
Is there around the country, around the world? Is there other guys that compare to you guys?
I mean, I don't even feel like I even fit in a lot of the category.
Don't.
But
I know you don't, but you do. But you're in with Morgan.
But I would say like the off-road community in Southern California is elite.
This is where it's at.
King.
It's fucking elite.
I believe
and
that.
that's just just geographically. Like
I believe that.
The East Coast is like a different type of off-road stuff. So it's just a different type of building. Not to say that they're not.
We've got Glamis a couple hours away, like, and then we got gnarly trails.
Mexico, man, like Baja is like is the founder of this shit. So we just have the geographical area where like I think it pushes everybody's abilities to build just crazy off-road shit. And dude, the pre-runner stuff and like the off-road stuff that we do, the high-speed off-road stuff is like Paquito. You know,
oh, thanks.
But it really is the pinnacle. It's the pinnacle of your industry.
I mean, if you look at stuff overseas in like Dakar and stuff, like those vehicles look completely different, and those are elite off-road vehicles. But it's like where you do it. But definitely, I would say Southern California with off-road and pre-runner stuff, and now it's becoming like trendy, like a trendy fit and finish. Like Rob has $100,000 paint job on a wheelies off-road vehicle that goes in the fucking dirt.
I know.
Like, dude, that
truck's bonkers, dude. That
it's
I've seen some gnarly shit in your world, like when we shot with Nick Nelson, a few years back.
Oh, dude, that was crazy in the back alley.
That was some pretty bonkers.
We need more of that hood rat shit.
Dude,
right?
We don't do that
totally
as much.
Hey,
you know what?
I tell people like,
dude, I wish I had the videos, and I have some. of like when my shop began and the hood rat shit we did.
Yeah.
Actually,
Putting ramps out back.
Oh, we had fucking ramps. I forgot about that. We had literally truck ramps and jumped
So good.
in the alley here, dude. It was fucking.
Speaking
So
of this,
good.
you remember Brendan Schaub, right? The guy with the TRX.
Yep.
Okay, so he's coming up here to do a shoot with a Hummer, and then I got one of the guys from Hoonigan, Zach. He's
You
coming
know
up
Mr.
here.
Zachary?
Yeah.
We're
I
doing-
haven't formally met him, but I'd love to meet him.
Zach's
Right,
cool
so
as
we're
fuck.
Because he's got that big box Chevy Blazer.
Zach's
Like,
rad,
all
dude.
about
He's
it.
cool as
He's
fuck.
bringing his Z06 up here. He's got a C6 Z06. Brendan's bringing a Hummer, and they're all gonna come up here. We're gonna do a shoot. And
Tell
I
him
was-
bring the Blazer. Fuck that shit.
Well, he's getting the motor built on it. It's 3 weeks out, so we're shooting in like 2 weeks. So anyway, my point was that I kind of want to do a different style video where we kind of hang around and do like an Autotopia walk
Ooh,
around.
we
And
bringing Steven in on
I was
this?
thinking
man?
do hood rat shit, dude. I'm down.
Do you have something that you can put on 2 wheels like you do?
Oh, maybe I can borrow my old car.
If you can borrow your old car, because I want one of them, either
Practice.
I want either Schaub or Zach from Hoonigan to get in the car with you and put it
Yeah.
on 2 wheels. 'Cause
I
think-
bicycled with Steven.
Those are two big
I've done it
fuckers.
too.
I did it.
But you get what I'm saying, though? I
Yeah.
want it to be like this is what we do at Autotopia. We
Yeah.
go to the dog pound. Or if, Steve, honestly, if you could bring
The
anything.
dog pound.
If you could just bring anything out to throw down, it would add to the video a lot. That's all I'm saying.
right. I mean,
It's
I
in
love
2
that.
weeks. Can you prep something to like Hooner?
Was it
'Cause I-
May
what's the
9th or
date?
something?
Yeah, it's May 9th.
Crack open the
Friday,
toy
May
box.
9th at 5 o'clock.
Yeah.
We're going to go out back and we're going to fucking thrash the Z06. Brendan's going to have his Hummer, and then you're going to bring something, hopefully.
Crack open the toy box.
I gotta
dude.
practice.
Get in the toy box.
How many people can you go on 2 wheels with? Like
I've done it in the car.
side?
Me and Sean have both done
What
it
do
in
you
the car
mean?
with him.
Like how many people can be in the side by side
In the
at
car?
once? Yeah.
I mean, I'm sure I could put at least 4 or 5 people in a 2-seater, but
You're not
dude.
fitting
that's gonna
Schaub
take some
6'4",
Schaub
240.
barely is gonna fit
Hey,
in there.
I'm
and
down to go in it. Is all I'm saying.
I 2-wheel.
Who said you were going to go, dude? I wasn't
I'm not
involved in-
asking you,
You're
am I?
filming. Hold the camera,
Nah,
bro.
bro.
I 2-wheel with the passenger side up. So like
Yes,
that,
you do.
Whoever's
I was there. I
high
know.
up, which is usually most people do it the opposite way, like Heavy D, like all those guys, and like
Put the driver's
Baldwin
side
does
up.
it. He's one of the guys that kind of inspired me. He's like, all these badass motherfuckers, and I can drive on 2 wheels, you know, like.
Dude,
So
I
just
asked
figured it
Steven.
out.
I asked Steven right
Me and
before
TJ
we
did it. Actually, that was the first day.
right before we did it out back here. I asked Steven, I was like, so, what's the learning curve on this? Like, what's the learning curve? He's like, it's so fucking you, dude. He's like, you just got to send it, man. You just got to send it.
Yeah.
And so I picture Steven the first time going, because what he does, like, you don't hit ramps, and like, ooh,
That's what
a
I was gonna
soft
ask. I was
little,
like, how do you do it?
You don't do a nice, soft little lift. You're rolling along through the alley, and he goes, but really fucking quick, and the thing gets super upset, and it goes up onto 2 wheels, and then he fucking holds it there. And
I
holds
drove,
it.
I drove
I've
all
seen you
Clybourne,
drive down
like, at, like,
Clybourne.
30,
yeah.
40 miles an hour and went through traffic. Right here.
You'll fucking freak out, dude. Like, it sounds like one thing, but then you watch it and you go,
He showed me a video of it. I
he
wanna
meant to do that, and he's holding it there.
It's so much fun.
Dude, you're
It's
such a
so much
redneck.
fucking fun, dude.
You ever fallen over while doing it?
Oh, yeah. Lots of times. Yeah.
Which leads us to like, I know you got a couple more you're kind of holding out on because you don't want people to think you're fucking psycho. Like, you're safe to spend hundreds of thousands of dollars building shit.
I saw a
But
Snapchat
building
story
and
of
driving's
this
a
guy eating
different
a
thing.
grasshopper, dude.
Oh, man.
This guy, I saw a Snapchat story of this dude with a beer in his hand, and there was a grasshopper or praying mantis
Bro,
on
it
the
was like
wall,
a locust. It was huge,
and he
dude.
fucking picked it up and ate it.
You what?
He was hanging out with kids my age, and he
You're
was
so
like, "Let me
psycho,
show
dude.
you a motherfucker,"
fucking
and
pussies.
and he ate a fucking bug.
Yeah. Nah.
For
People
free.
eat bugs. People
Him and
eat
his
bugs,
friends
dude.
do. Like, I know we're not supposed to say this. Like, it offends some people. And
You should see TJ.
Come with me. I'll offend you a little more.
See TJ.
But him and his friends do full retard shit. Like, they really do. They do shit where
still here.
you see video clips of it, and you're like, yeah, never and never. Like, I'm not.
Also
never.
posts it. Like, he posts it on social media. Like, it's one thing to do it and keep it to yourself, but this guy shows
I'm
everybody
trying
what he
to show
does.
people that how I am as a right now is exactly how I
'Cause
am
you
on social
are.
media because I'm not
Yeah. 'Cause
fucking
you
fake,
are.
dude. I'll walk it and I'll talk it at the same time.
I've seen more
100%.
titties on your Instagram than I have seen on the internet for sure.
Oh man, yeah, those were good days too. We used to have topless Sundays at the pool.
Yeah, I
but,
never was invited, but that's cool.
You were young, man.
Yeah,
I was at one of their 4th of July parties.
Oh yeah, you were.
That was
Yeah,
good.
I
That
almost
was how
blew
I
my
met
hand off that
Manny.
one too. Yeah.
That was where I met Manny.
You blew
I'm-
your hand?
No,
I
I'm
just
just
thought
saying
about-
I almost blew my. I was holding mortars out of my hand like
Yeah.
You remember when the Dodgers won?
They were blowing off all
dude's
kinds of
hand?
shit.
That's all I think about now.
Yeah, no, don't do that.
I
dude.
know. And
Yeah.
it's like when I'm drunk, you know, I just.
That's where I met Manny, though, dude.
Yeah.
The reason I think about Manny, partially because I fucking love what he did. I'm going back tomorrow to finish out the rest of my left. So I'll be fully sleeved on my left arm tomorrow.
Damn.
Right?
Tomorrow.
I've been waiting for this forever, and there's just a little space to
Manny,
fill.
another good example. Homie came to me,
Because
truck
of your
all
truck.
fucked up, dude. I helped him out, and he's
Yeah.
been a long-time customer since day one,
Yeah.
and one of the most talented tattoo artists in the world, for sure.
100%, dude. That guy, I wish a million people watched
And he
what
hasn't
we did.
tattooed me once.
I wish a million people watched what we did so they could hear us talk about Manny, because he's.
Yeah.
I love.
He deserves
I know.
everything,
I've told
dude,
you
that
about it, but he's cool. He doesn't fucking tattoo anyone that calls. He only works with people that are referred to him, and then he likes them and can vibe with them and stuff. God, he's fucking good though, dude. The art he did, I can't wait. Like now, you know, how tattooing they always say is addictive. It hasn't been for me because I've had decent art, but I haven't had art that I was
you
in
lose
love
like
with.
the morale of it when you get like a shitty tattoo.
Something like
the
this
one on my
up here
back.
that I did as a kid, I'm not in love with it at
Yeah,
all.
no,
The
it
rest of my
looks terrible.
tattoos I like a lot, but Manny's, I love what this guy does enough to where I'm like, all right, dude. So I was already planning I've always wanted full sleeves on both arms. Now I'm starting to think about my back piece. Like I want it, and I'm going to fucking get it done before you.
Manny's supposed to be drawing out my entire back piece, but I don't really want to see tattoos. That's kind of like my thing. But I have I have dumb tattoos everywhere.
You don't want to see them though?
I don't really want to see them. I just want to be like,
Interesting.
take shirt off and just fucking blast it on the back.
That's why I never thought I would do a back, because I like
If you look at me from the front, you're like, oh, that dude's just a hairy chest fucking French guy. And I turn around and
I got
blast
you.
it.
I got you.
Cut the podcast.
Yeah, cut the podcast, please. Sean's getting naked.
But that's because you fuckers don't. Again, Chris, let's go back to a
Sean,
time.
you have the one thing
let's
that
go
I
back to a
actually
glorious
both of you have
time.
the one
10
thing.
years older than
Glorious
you,
time in life, though, was Burt Reynolds not the coolest?
I agree.
And did Burt Reynolds have not only a full chest?
Oh, I am
hair,
all about bringing the
He did a
chest hair
centerfold,
back, dude.
didn't he?
I just got to be ripped when you do
Fucking
it. So
A,
that's
dude.
like a whole
'Cause
nother
he's
realm.
cool.
If you're just hairy
That's
and
right.
fat, it doesn't fucking work.
If you're ripped and hairy,
Hey, I'm getting there. I'm
you're like a
working
big
on it,
old
man.
Bear, you know?
Come on, little flex. Let's see it. Let's see the flex.
Hey,
No,
check in. Actually, we've been doing that. We all text each other and say check in.
That was
Holding
fun
people
yesterday, you
accountable.
guys. That was fun yesterday.
Holding everybody accountable, dude. We got to get him on the text too.
No, he's
But
actually-
you know what?
We'll add him.
He's too tall, dude.
Yeah, he is.
You're not.
Yeah.
It's not
Leave his
fair.
neck
You're not
alone.
fair.
Leave his
You're
neck
like
alone.
The
He gets
1%
upset
that's
about
fucking
it.
tall, good looking, and ripped, like
Yeah.
all in one, like that. I wish
doesn't
I had
work
his
out
height.
anymore.
And he's
I wish I
fucking
had-
do work
dark,
out.
too.
I
He's
worked
got
out
the dark
yesterday.
thing, too.
You worked out today?
I worked out yesterday.
He'll still
Yeah.
every lady at the place, dude.
Yeah,
dude.
Actually, to be honest with you, haven't gotten one chick with this guy.
Really?
Every time we've gone out, we don't
Yeah,
get
you
lucky.
did.
We're not going there. We're not going there.
You're both wearing Yankee hats in LA.
Yeah, hey,
fucking
Steven
retards.
gets so mad at me.
Come on,
Really?
bro. Come on. Tell Steven the Sapphire story.
No, already, bro.
That doesn't count. That doesn't,
It doesn't
count. It's a
count.
sapphire.
No, dude, we just went to Arizona. We went out for a night in like Scottsdale. We went to college bars and shit like that. It
was whack.
Nothing, bro.
Damn.
Nothing.
It was whack out
It might
there.
be a
I'm
personal
not
problem.
impressed. Yeah.
I'm not either at all.
I just got back
This is
from
twice
Bristol,
now.
Tennessee, and that shit was different.
Tennessee's a good place.
I do want to go to
mean-
Tennessee. I've heard that's fun stuff out there.
I would say
I'm
if
leaving
you're
on
looking for
Thursday.
fun stuff, don't go to Bristol.
You're
But
going to Tennessee? Oh yeah, you're going to
Nashville
Thursday.
for
I've
sure.
heard Nashville is cool.
I'm leaving Thursday. You know, me, my brother, little brother, his wife, Steph, a couple of friends.
That'll be a good
We're
time.
going to check out the new pad and do,
Oh, man.
Eric and Steph.
Can't
kind of
wait to go
things.
out to the new pad.
Bro. So I already told him, given that he got an extra however many acres.
I have a
it is.
bedroom there, I think.
Yeah,
Somewhere.
you take the fucking bedroom. I claim 20 acres
Okay.
where I need a
Parcel.
just one. No, I'm chill, bro. I just need one bedroom, one bath. I'm good. Kitchen.
Going back to your roots, gonna start playing again. I mean, you're right there.
not so much.
Dude, I was just going to say,
I don't
both of
love
you
it
can
anymore.
both play instruments, and it's like one thing that I wish I can do.
I'm not as good as him though. He's a
I
fucking
don't love it
animal.
anymore.
No?
Well, hold on. We're going to your
I
gig
don't.
in May in Austin.
Yeah. I know, and I'm forcing myself. I have a calendar alert that goes off and reminds me to play every night so I can get some calluses again. It's a funny
You can
thing.
work at the shop and get
It's a
some
funny
cows.
thing, you know, dude. I literally, like, it's all I did my whole fucking life. I swear to you, when I say all my whole life, like I obsessed from 17 to 45 years old.
That's a long time.
All I did. It's all I did. Every opportunity that came up, I passed it by because all I wanted to do was write songs and get good at what I was doing. And now, man, I love music as much as I ever did, except for now I get to be a fan of music instead of listening to everything and going, why'd you say that? Why did you produce it that way?
Yeah.
Why the kick
I
drum
mean, it's a
like
perfect.
that? Why
It's the same thing in the building business.
Yeah.
It's
I mean,
for
you can,
every business. I think.
dude.
Yeah.
I mean, it's when
goes
you're in
back-
it, you're in it, and it's
Yeah.
like almost like sometimes you don't.
It goes back to
enjoy
like
it as
when-
much, and then you're out of it, and you see things a little
Because
differently.
there's so
and
many
it's just
whys
like,
that come about because
For sure.
you whether or not there's success involved with it, you see it differently from
People
your
change,
perspective.
time
you know?
changes, everything changes. I mean,
For sure,
that's
man.
exactly like if I were to say I don't really want to build cars anymore. I just want to like
For sure.
kind of pursue something else.
You want to go to
sure.
Bob's Big Wear with a chair and New Balance sneakers?
No,
and
I
jean
definitely don't
shorts
wanna
and
do that.
Hang out over there and
But I've also always thought about like pursuing something completely different just because of the challenge. Like for me, you know, I'm like, okay, I feel like I built cars. I know I can do this.
Yeah.
Okay, what else can I do?
Yeah.
You know,
What would you do?
I want to get back to like my athletic roots because I want to challenge. I feel like it's a good question because I think about this all the time. Is like I just want to like challenge myself as like a human, and go back to like just raw.
Yeah.
what are you capable of doing? With
Like
your
raw,
physical-
like
yeah.
stay out in the like scare myself, like stay out in the woods and fucking fight and like hunt and you know like I've done a little bit of hunting because a lot of my friends do a lot of hunting, and so it's just that's something that's not like natural. I didn't grow up doing that like they did,
Yeah.
you know. But it's like definitely like a
Yeah.
I would like to challenge myself where like
Totally.
if we all lost everything and like who's gonna fucking survive.
Totally.
That's the kind of
Nice.
shit, you know. Sorry, it's my
What's
little
that?
brother.
No, I'm just fucking with it.
Like just fighting, like straight, just combat, surviving. Like
Have you
shit.
trained martial arts before?
I have a little bit.
Yeah.
I'm actually doing a little bit thing here and there,
What-
boxing and stuff.
Oh, okay.
But,
Tried jujitsu?
I have, yeah.
Jujitsu's good.
Back before I had the shop, I would do like jujitsu at this guy's shop that I worked at in Montrose.
Armenian guy?
No, white.
Oh.
Yeah.
Do you miss having time to do those things? You know what I mean? Because obviously work takes up so much time.
Yeah.
It's like it's a big trade off, obviously.
Yeah, there's a lot of new things I would like to do, like other than building cars, you know? Like some people are very dedicated to just building cars and they're all in, you know? But I'm kind of
Yeah.
like, I grew up an athlete. I played baseball, football, you know, basketball, all sports. I feel like I'm pretty decent at everything. I'm so athletic now. I still play baseball now. Like, I mean, I just like that team sports stuff too. And that's like the difference between me and probably a lot of other car builders that are like maybe just always that.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's a different. I wish there was a lot more things I could do, but this is what I do, and I'm good at it.
Yeah.
and I
You're a
love
beast
it.
at what you
know?
do, though.
I think maybe that's why some people are 100% in. Maybe I'm not always 100% because I like other things.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
Like I wish I raced dirt bikes.
But it comes
Like
in.
I can ride a dirt bike pretty well, and I think if I focus on it, I'd be a fucking professional dirt bike rider. You know, but. I just never went down that road, and it just is.
You
what it
never
is.
know.
Or even professional
you never
car
know,
driver,
though, bro. You're
like racer in general.
What are you? 35 years old?
35.
So I did music until I was 45. Was my last year of touring, and never got rock star status. But like I know what it's like to have record deals. I've had them. You know, I had a deal with Sony at one point. I achieved a lot of the things that musicians strive to achieve. The old school model, I would say, and to have found something that I love as much as I do, like my shop and this channel and all the things we do as a team, you know, I swear to God, it's the greatest fucking thing to think your life is it going in one direction and to make a shift at a point and pivot, they call it, right? But still the same thing, because there's a passion that drives you to fabricate at the level you do. You know, and maybe that's all it is, right? Maybe the rest of your life, it's what you do, and there's nothing on that, man. But maybe somewhere along the way, maybe somewhere along the way, you go, man, there's this thing I just fucking, it drives me crazy. I want to know what would it be like to do this, you know?
Pursue it.
Yeah, fuck yeah, it's the greatest thing, man. You got to have. I'm convinced.
The problem is now it takes
young.
time and money, but two things that are very
everything
difficult
does
to
though.
have.
Fucking everything does, dude. Even losing money costs you time and money. I mean,
For
like
sure.
everything does. You know,
Business owner stuff.
But to live a life without passion, I can't. God bless the folks that can, flip a burger at McDonald's and stuff. And
Somebody got to do it.
somebody got to do it.
Somebody got to flip the burgers.
It would be hard for me to fucking survive without it. Self-discipline and passion, dude. It's
Yeah,
like,
loving what you do. It's so crucial,
I know nothing
man.
else in what I do, and I couldn't fathom it any different.
I'm
definitely
I'm
feel
the
like
same, man.
where I'm
Same.
at is where I should be at, like
For sure.
1000%.
For
Like,
sure.
you know,
Yeah.
with all the right people and just everything. Like,
Yeah.
you know.
All right, so let's send folks home with a. You got some crazy stories, dude. But you got some doing fun shit, and in the midst of fun shit turns into injury and things breaking and havoc happening. Right?
Near-death
Are you not
experience.
curious of a couple of
Give me
these?
your best near-death
Just a couple of them,
experience.
aren't you curious?
I've
man?
skated through a lot of shit, but
Yeah.
back before I even had the shop, I was working in this little shop in Montrose, and they was kind of like where I started doing like side work, where like SMP kind of started, other than the auto shop. And I was working out, this is when you'd work 15 hours a day and work for $5 a fucking hour and drink energy drinks and eat fast food all day, and that's how you survived. And
Yeah.
I just locked myself in the shop and just built things. And I still lived at home, went home. I remember like working and I got something in my eye. It happens every day, there's still something in my eye, it'll come out. So I go to bed, I go home, I go to bed, wake up middle of the night, my eyes, I can't see a fucking thing.
Wow.
I wake up, I'm just like, Mom, come in here. I was probably like 19 at the time, 20 years old. I can't see, it's all fucked up. I was like, fucking take yourself to the hospital, She's like, I told you to get that thing out of your eye earlier. I'm like, I don't know, I thought it would just come out. And my mom has no real sympathy at this point for me. So I drove myself to the hospital. I could barely see. And I get to the hospital, and they're like, yeah, dude, you have this big old chunk of metal in the center of your eye. And I'm really good
Holy
at pulling
shit,
metal out of my
dude.
eye. I do it for all my employees. I'm basically a fucking eye surgeon.
Ew, dude.
Because it happens all the time.
How big of pussies are we?
It's not that bad. You can't even feel it, dude.
It's not that bad.
I can just hold her eye open and pick that thing out. I do it literally on a daily
With your
basis.
dirty fucking fingers and
Dirty
shit.
fingers,
Nasty,
dude.
bro.
Yeah, that's why fucking you don't get sick, It's some dirty shit.
No,
Anyways, I go to the doctors. I get in there. This dude doesn't know what he's doing. He's scraping in my eye. So I, call my mom, like, dude, he can't get this thing out. Like, I'm going to have to go to like an eye surgeon deal in the morning. They're like, all right, we're going to give you a tetanus shot. All right, cool. So I get up. I'm in like a chair. I bend
And
over.
this whole time, there's a chunk of metal in your
there's a
fucking
metal being there
eye.
and it hurts, but he numbed it. So at this point I wasn't feeling it. And I'm sure a lot of car builders and fabricators know exactly what I'm talking about because it happens all the time. So it gives me a tetanus shot in the butt cheek. Okay. So I pull my pants down and I'm on the phone with my mom at the same time. I'm leaned over and this dude's giving me a shot in my ass. And I wake up in the corner of the doctor's office.
You passed out from the shot?
Like 10 feet away, like far away, in the corner, and with like a doctor and nurses over the top of me. Like,
Wait. You do all the stupid shit you do,
No.
and a shot in the ass knocks you the fuck down?
no, dude. Like I've had so many shots. I've not even seen it. Dude, I don't know. It was just, I didn't eat. I was on just energy drinks and I had just terrible diet. And like my blood sugar was just through the fucking roof. Wow. And they gave me the shot and I woke up and I passed out. I was probably like, he'd been scraping in my eye for like 20 minutes, just gouging it.
Yeah.
So I was probably a little like hyped up on that. And I got the shot in the ass and I wake up in the corner of the office and I'm like looking at everybody. Are you okay? And they help me up and they put me back in the chair. And I'm like, dude, what just happened? They're like, you passed out. And the doc was like, dude, I had this big ass, like a needle in your butt cheek. And he was like, either I was going to catch you or I was going to pull the thing out or you're going to land on the thing in your butt. So I'm like, dude, he's like, I got it out, but you fell.
Wow.
So
bro.
I woke up and I'm like, man, my head hurts. I grabbed my head, blood everywhere.
Ah,
back
shit,
of my head.
dude.
I got 6 staples in the back of my head.
Oh my God, you caused a whole other problem, bro. The fuck?
I went to the doctors to get metal removed from my eye. I left with metal in my eye and 6 fucking staples in the back of my head.
Of all the stupid shit.
Yeah. And then I went to an eye doctor the next day, old Jewish guy.
Old Jewish guy. Hey, but he was like 80. This guy like.
It's all right, I'll take it. But fuck you. Next time we say beaner, just chill the fuck out.
Oh my God, we've said it way too many times in this podcast.
What did I do, bro?
Nothing at all.
They sent me this eye doctor guy, and he has like Parkinson's, dude, and he is just like shaking like a motherfucker to pull this shit out. Stephen Parkinson's. Yeah, I has my head in a vice, and everyone's gonna know about this. That fabricates. You put your head in a vice so it holds your head, and they shine a light in there. And he's like so wobbly that I'm like, this is just not good. And my eye already hurts from the day before. And he goes, bink, and he like takes this thing out like in one shot.
You like nutted, huh?
Yeah. And but then I couldn't see for like 4 days after that. So that sucked, and that was a bad one. But the worst, by far the number one worst thing did not happen to me in my own shop.
It gets worse, dude?
It gets way worse.
Goddamn. I don't know, man.
The grinder. The 20-inch Apex grinder, and everyone knows who's fabricates and knows anything about 20-inch grinders is those motherfuckers will bite you. And if they bite you, it's bad. Grinding.
20-inch, that's a big motherfucker.
Yeah, I mean, it's a big disc. It's a big disc table grinder with a table, and you feed metal into it.
You feeling this? You feeling where we're about to go here? Right? Like shit getting torn apart.
This will take off like an inch of material on like a 1/4-inch plate, depending on like the grit that you have in there. You have the 36 grit, that thing's just eats metal. Okay? But there's this little space between the table and the disc, which is about 1/4 inch. Not much. Okay? Not supposed to be wearing gloves on any kind of machinery. Really not on the lathe, not on the anything. Okay, homies on the Apex.
You're feeling it, right?
And I'm in the office, and I hear and just silence, dude. And I already knew it happened, like because sometimes the pieces just get caught and they go in there, and like your hands escape, and you're good. And it's like, oh, okay, we're good.
You ready for this?
Hand did not escape.
You know when a joke has its punchline arriving, right?
This is the punchline?
Yeah, we're coming up on the fucking money shot.
Hand did not escape the Apex. And it went between that 1/4-inch space between that disc and the table and took the glove with it.
Ooh.
And immediately pulled the hand out. And the whole front knuckle piece is gone and shredded off.
How many fingers?
Just the one. Luckily,
finger?
one finger. But like to the first knuckle nail, it just looked like a little shredded piece of beef and a polished bone at the top.
Oh.
So he takes off. I think my dad or somebody takes him to.
This is at your shop?
This is at my shop.
What was his name?
Dave.
I was thinking Tommy Tough Knuckles, but all right.
And Dave was he's actually a business partner of ours, and he lost his tip of his finger in that thing, and he went to
just the tip.
He went to the hospital, and I remember
in this setting, that's all it takes.
Yeah, we went back in the Apex because his glove is gone. We're like, where the fuck is your glove?
Oh my God,
it's in there.
His finger's in the glove. Oh my God.
So me and Carlos at the time, the shop that I'm in now was like a car audio shop.
This is back in Carlos days.
Yeah, this is back in Carlos days.
Shit.
So I pull the Apex apart. I'm like, I'm gonna find this dude's glove and his other part of his finger.
No, you're gonna find his fucking finger.
Yeah.
Come on, this is so fucked, dude.
So we pull the glove. We pull the glove out, and I get a little piece of needle nose and like go down the finger hole of the glove.
Come on.
And I pull the tip of this thing out, and it's me and Carlos are like right next to each other, and we both throw up in the alleyway right here.
Ew.
Carlos almost passed out. I'm like throwing up. It's like the tip of his finger. And that was definitely probably the gnarliest.
You ever seen the movie Drobit Taylor?
Yeah.
The samurai sword?
Yeah.
Seen a movie called what?
It's called
Drill Bit Taylor with Owen Wilson,
Yeah.
right? And Josh Peck.
It's a shitty good movie. It's a shitty
movie.
At the very end of the movie, he catches a samurai sword and his pinky falls off.
I remember that.
Yeah.
And then it gets ran over and everything. Yeah.
I got a Carlos story about puking in my shop. Will you hear that?
At what?
Carlos puking in my
Puking.
Carlos did here?
Were you?
Oh.
And Dennis McCarthy.
Do you remember a guy that used to, over at Dennis's shop, they used to call him Hot Pockets? Because on the cold days, he'd always keep his hands in his pockets. He was this young kid. He was like 18, 19 years old. He's going into the military. I'm fucking dumb enough. These fucking morons, not Dennis, not Brad, not like the higher ups at the company, but the fucking numbnuts that like are the $3.99 guys. So I'm dumb enough to say
I'm that guy of my company.
No, I know you are. No, I know you are. I trust me when I tell you I know you are. So I tell these fucking dumbasses yes to a party here. This is the early days. Like this is when I first took this place over from my brother. Shit, it might have still been my, yeah, it was because there was no lifts in here yet. So they want to throw a going away party for Hot Pockets. Hot Pockets is on his way to fucking the military, right? And Junior.
Dude, you're gonna incriminate people telling the story.
Yeah.
Don't get anyone in trouble.
Junior, bunch of people.
names.
Like they put together this grand plan of the going off party. Strippers. The table goes away that's over there.
Strippers?
The table over there goes away because you got to make room for the strippers and all the
I thought they go on the table.
antics. No. They needed more room than the table, and we needed to lay out plastic stuff for them.
Oh no.
Yeah,
Show,
the
dude,
antics.
whole
The
show.
antics.
It's a
Yeah.
waterworks show.
The fucking antics. And so somewhere along the way, in the midst of all this, Luke, you know Luke from over there.
Yep.
Shit, I really
Oh,
am
yeah.
incriminating.
You're
you.
naming a lot of
Actually,
people,
Can't
bro.
say this.
Luke did grand things though.
Luke just came here. He made sure everything was cool. He left.
Luke was one of the cleanup masters that night. He comes out here because I'm kind of mesmerized by the scene that's going on over here. And it's a lot that's going on. I've seen a lot in my life, and this was enough where I was like,
Yeah, if you say
I
it's
don't
a
know
lot.
that I've seen this yet in my lifetime, and I'm kind of fucking curious about
That's
this.
bad.
Yeah. So Luke comes out. He's like, hey, man, Carlos just puked in your bathroom, and it's pretty much everywhere. Do you have a mop? And, you know, I got all the cleanup shit, of course. And God bless Luke for whoever else helped him out, because I could still smell it in the shop a few days later, you know. But Carlos got to that point where he did the one last shot. You know, when everybody
I know I
says, like,
shouldn't
let's
do it.
do one more, be it a shot, the turn, the
Yeah.
jump.
Yeah.
I don't care what it is. One more is
Never
always the
say
time where
one
you
more,
go,
ever.
no,
can't do
this.
I will not do this.
Oh my God.
Yeah. So, yeah, just coming back around to Carlos. Carlos,
He's a puker, I guess.
I guess Carlos is a puker, isn't he? Pretty funny, man. That was a funny, those were,
The
was
old
during
old hood rat days, dude, when we just did dumb shit around here.
super dumb shit,
Sometimes I
right?
hate being grown up and professional.
I know,
It sucks.
right?
It sucks.
It's way too responsible.
All I do is try to
Way
chase
too
that
much
same
liability.
thing I was back then.
But you can't because there's too much fucking liability involved now. So you go like,
Chris, do you ever feel that way?
Of what?
You're probably the wisest guy here, I would say.
You gotta lean in,
Do you ever still want to just chase that?
No.
not
I'm
at
too
all.
old. I'll probably.
It must have cost you a lot of money chasing that to say that. To not want to do it anymore. I'm not there yet.
There's a certain point, and it sucks. It's funny. You know, I try to not think about this, and you're right, dude. There's a certain point where you start to gain wisdom, and you give up doing super cool, really stupid, like somebody's gonna die kind of shit.
I don't ever want that.
Just a
Yeah.
heads up, we're coming at like an hour 45.
Copy.
Cool. We'll wait for Kyle to come back, obviously.
There's
But it
been
is-
like, I mean,
It is funny, right?
yeah.
Because like you're 35, right? I'm 59. I got a lot of fucking years on you, dude. I got a lifetime on you, man. And I don't.
I feel like I've already done more
I
than
don't
what
do
probably
stupid-
even people do in their fucking lifetime.
Yeah, for sure.
I probably did that
but I don't
before
do the
25.
stupid shit. Like I think about the stuff I I don't know. I think about rides I used to do on the Crest on my GSX-Rs that I had as a kid, you know, and like,
oh man,
I wouldn't ride like that anymore. I mean, I just wouldn't. I'm taking the line. I don't care about that there's double lines in front of me.
Yeah.
You're taking the fucking line, you know, and yeah. It's funny. But I like this getting old thing. You know why I like this getting old thing? Is you actually, I know there's a lot left for me for fucking sure. But you start to get wisdom, which allows you to enjoy the life that you're living more so than the pursuit of thrills that give you momentary enjoyment. There's momentary enjoyment, and then there's daily enjoyment, like where you wake up and you're. I know Chris gets this because Chris is like me. Chris is one of the guys like me where you wake up in the morning and you're super happy, and then you go about your day and you deal with things, you know, and then at the end of the day, when you lay your head down at night, you're also super happy, and it's a great space to live in, you know, and it's a super fucking way out there a little too much. But the truth is, but the truth is, it's really like I like this getting old thing. That's why I feel accomplished. Well, I've slowed down. Right I've slowed down because the stupid shit that gives me a momentary thrill isn't near the greatness of living a full day that's great rather than moments of great, you know? Right, Chris? You know what I'm saying, right, dude?
Your life now is sprinkled in with pull-away shots that get you excited, right? You're not personally doing it, right? You know, so you still get to enjoy that adrenaline rush for the shoots, and I know you're taking.
Dude, you have one of the worst jobs ever, and you want to know? We're still gonna go over on time, but I should have said this in the beginning. I would never want to be you, only because you have to go in the car with a bunch of fucking people that are driving that you have no idea what's going to happen.
Well,
that is like my one thing, dude. I grew up, I'm driving or I'm fucking not going in.
Yeah.
Period. There's like a handful, dude, of people that I trust. Yeah. That I'm like, all right, I'll sit passenger and I'll be all right.
But think about this, because we pick and choose. Job. We pick and choose for one, right? I'll say that.
Well, you've learned that one pretty
two. I had a massive fucking learning experience.
And I've learned that same way.
Sure.
I've learned that same way.
Yeah.
For sure.
And some of us need to bash our heads against things to learn things, right?
I think that toned you down, and it was a great bad thing.
And what it also made me do, though, was watch people when they drive. You know, I really watch. And the guy like you, you know, dude, I sat 10 feet off the ground with you bicycling a fucking car, and I was having a blast doing it. Yeah. Rob, RJ, I get in, you know, he's grabbing the brake and doing sideways shit that I have no clue how to do. I legitimately don't have a clue how to do it. But I watch and I see the control and I see the peace that's going on, and I go, okay, cool. I can be a 5-year-old on the road.
Look him in the eyes, they're doing it, and you'll know, like, they're either driving over their head, you know.
And now I see that ever since this incident we had.
I mean, he had a mechanical failure though.
We did, so but it was also.
I've crashed into a tree. But my brakes went out.
Yeah. But it also showed. It also showed not a full scope of awareness of the setting, you know. And when I get in vehicles now with people where I see them driving a little over the edge of their wheels,
hey,
you know,
don't need to do that shit.
Yeah, and I do it in a super cool way. Like I tell them, like, hey, the camera's gonna have a hard time capturing you or something like that.
Oh, you blew your cover on that now. Every time you tell someone that.
Oh, watch, I'll come up with something else, man.
You're doing great, dude. You don't need to do it anymore.
But there are certain times, like the worst offender I can think of is a guy that had a 3-spoke wheel. And he drove the whole time holding the center spoke and just kind of like it was an
red
old
flag.
Red flag.
Yeah, so it's like, hey, dude, let's pull it back.
I can pretty much know when someone hand grabs a steering wheel immediately.
You get a sense, right?
Like they know what they're doing or not.
Like if we're going to be okay, we're probably going to get from point A to point B, even if it's a little ugly. We're probably going to get there, you know. And then there's certain people that grab the wheel in a certain manner where you go like, the camera's going to have a hard time. Let's dial it back a little bit.
Yeah. That happens more than not.
So you gave us a couple of your gnarly stories. Any others, or do we tell everybody goodbye and we go have more drinks?
I mean, I can tell you a bunch of stories, but I feel like we can always rant back into those at a different time.
We can always do a part 2.
I'll just be that filler guy, you know, because I'm like,
yeah, you're the filler episode.
I'm just
you are a neighbor.
I'm the fluffer, dude, in between all.
You are a neighbor,
I'm
right?
a neighbor.
Right?
I'm just a good neighbor.
So you call it a fluffer. I call it a neighbor. See, you see how much more kind I am.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't mind being a fluffer.
Fluffer's not bad.
It's not a bad job.
I did live through the 80s.
It was nice being here and doing this podcast. You guys are all set up really badass and
much better.
You've already come I mean, I was here before you were here, and I've seen you evolve into this with all these other good people that are involved in this behind the scenes. But it's so good to see every day I'm at my shop and I get to watch you guys pull across my door with like some new badass vehicle every day. I literally tell my guys at the work, I'm like, we're fucking spoiled because
we
get to see the coolest cars drive right in front of my door every week.
All the time.
We're
so spoiled.
Like,
our neighborhood
I've seen
here,
cars that people dream their whole life to fucking see.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm very thankful for that, and thank you for fucking doing it because this stuff something special for sure.
It is, man. I feel lucky to be part of growing the next evolution of us, which is this.
Yeah.
You know, fuck, the episode we put out yesterday has 100 views or something.
Yeah.
We're used to looking at a video and going, fuck, it only has 50,000 views after 2 days. We're sucking, you know. And so it's a brand new undertaking for us for sure. But I look at it and I go, holy fuck, the amount, like you, Steven, the amount of dear friends, family to me, wonderful folks that are impacting our industry at such a massive fucking level to now come in here and just do like this. Just shoot the shit. Just talk life, man. Just literally fucking talk life. It's you know.
It's special.
I love this, right? Like, is this not fun shit,
And we get to bring the young
brother?
guns in too.
Yeah, you're a young gun too, bro.
We got like young, you know, in the middle. We have it all. We have all the ingredients.
Yeah,
we have
wrap
all
it
the
up
ingredients,
now.
dude.
See, one of the main reasons I love him, right, is that motherfucker will lie right to my face just to make me feel
Now
better
you just need
about
to throw
things.
some hot chicken here, and you guys literally have it all. All right.
This is a grand life,
That was
man.
cool.
We are
Thank you,
blessed.
brother.
Thanks.
We are blessed.
I'll see you on another one.
Fucking awesome.